1 second from half court.
Jumping for joy.
First ever.
A 2-on-1. Oh.
Did he bring it in? He did.
It is
Caught!
There have always been a few, ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid's solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
My kid heard that solo!
You saying I did?
Yeah,
Come on! What's wrong with you?
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today. High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Alcoholic beverages and other.
Welcome into Cary-Grove High School, folks. My name is Andy Diedrich, and you're watching IHSA football on NFHS Network. The matchup today, a playoff matchup. It's Cary-Grove hosting the Belvidere North Blue Thunder. Standing to the right of me for our pregame interview, Ben Bucher of the Blue Thunder. Ben, first off, 11 wins this year, 0 losses for your team. That's a school record. What do you have to say about this impressive season your team's put together?
I mean, it just shows all the hard work and dedication this select players have. And I mean, we're all coming together week by week to work as hard as we can to work together and get the win.
And one of those hardest wins came last week against Kaneland. An incredible come-from-behind victory. What does that say about the resiliency and just the voices in the locker room stepping up to be leaders?
I mean, I just think it shows that, I mean, we're a hard, gritty team. I mean, we don't give up ever. I mean, we're going to play until that final whistle, so I mean, it just shows how hard-working we really are.
And looking ahead to the opponent today, Cary-Grove, a little bit of a different style of a team versus some other teams you play. They were on the triple option, a lot of keeping the ball on the ground. What's it going to take to stop them after quite an impressive performance they put up last week themselves?
I mean, I think we just got to stick to our game plan. I mean, Coach Pregame gave us a great plan this week, so I mean, we just got to follow and execute what we're supposed to do.
Lastly, I said it already, a historic season for you guys, but I'm sure you and the team want to cap it off with a state championship. What's it going to take from you and the team to go ahead and raise that trophy at the end of the season?
I mean, again, we just have to execute week in and week out, and we got to do our responsibilities, fall back on our basics, and I mean, just play our top level.
Ben, thank you so much and best of luck today. Stay tuned, folks. Kickoff's coming up soon on NFHS Network.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
One second from half court.
Jumping for joy.
First ever.
A 2-on-1. Oh!
Did he bring it in? He did.
It is.
Caught!
Welcome to the pregame show brought to you by the NFHS Network. It is 6:54 p.m., which means it's about some time for some high school playoff action. The quarterfinals, one team advances to the semifinals. The other team, close but no cigar. This is what they work for in July and August. A beautiful night. It's 65 degrees right now, Bob. Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsoe and Cary-Grove, partner. They were up 48-0 in their previous game at halftime. They went on to win that one 55-21.
Yeah, against a very good team. They're 9-2, right? But Belvidere North is 11-0. So Belvidere North is going to have a lot to say in who wins this game. Now it's a home game for Cary-Grove, right? That's always worth. How much is a home game worth? What, a touchdown, half a touchdown, an extra point? Anyway, so we look at the points, opponents' points, and that's really key, right? So Cary-Grove, if I can flip the page, here we go.
They started off on a 2-game losing streak and then have won 9 in a row, including that dominating win on the road at St. Patrick.
Yeah, it's not just just not your average 9-2 record. It's 9 in a row, like you said, and against St. Patrick. So Cary-Grove, 421 points for, 211 points against, right? Then Belvidere North, 389 points for, so it's almost the same, and then about 140 points given up. So Max Preps is usually pretty accurate on its rankings, I've noticed over the years. Initially, it must be wrong, we could do better than this, right? But it seems like they do a really good job. And Cary-Grove is in its class, right? 5A is ranked number 9, and Belvidere North is ranked number 4. So you would say that according to Max Preps, Belvidere North is the favorite. Now, if you look at the seeding, the bracket, right, Class 5A, we are here on the Friday, Cary-Grove, right, Belvidere North at Cary-Grove. The winner of this game is going to play the winner of tomorrow, St. Francis, Wheaton, of course, in Chicago's King. And that game is going to be at home at St. Francis. So that's going to be the winner of that game. Then on the other side of the bracket, we've got Washington. They're seeded number 1, but that game is being played at Providence Catholic in New Lenox, so that's not even a home game for that number 1 seed. On the other half, the 7th and 8th teams, Oak Forest, they're seeded number 2, and that game is going to be at Oak Forest, and they're going to host Peoria from downstate, right? And they're seeded number 3. This looks to be a very, very competitive bracket here.
I am very excited for that St. Francis game. King, the CPS team. CPS teams don't normally advance this far. They're in the quarterfinals, their first time ever. That St. Francis team, they're hungry because the previous 2 years they lost to Nazareth in the semifinals. No more Nazareth this time around. They're in 6A, St. Francis in 5A. But let's talk more about this game, partner. Cary-Grove running the triple option. They have not had to pass the ball in their previous 2 playoff victories.
Yeah, that is absolutely phenomenal. Of course, you're going to see that again here. What you're going to see is what the teams have been doing all year, right? Whatever it is they practice, whatever it is they do in the games, you're just not going to see new wrinkles at this point in time during the season. So, obviously, the triple option is going to be a fullback dive, right? The quarterback runs to the left or the right, and then laterals if he makes the right read. It's similar to a run-pass option, but it's really just a run-run option.
You know what was interesting, partner, and I'm sure you read about this in both Daily Herald and Shaw Local, is Kalen was up 25-24, and they opted for the onside kick, even though they were winning because Belvidere North had 5 runs or more of 20-plus yards. So they were afraid that Belvidere North was going to score anyways and run the clock out with first downs, forcing Caitlin to call timeouts, and then they would score late. Will we see something crazy like that today where Belvidere North gets the lead and they try to steal possession away from Cary-Grove by doing an onside kick?
What a great lead-in, right? What the thing is, though, that wasn't crazy, and that's why they did it. So the easy answer, of course you're not going to see something crazy like that today, but you might see some interesting strategy. You just never know. You know, you're down by 1 at the 2-yard line after you score a touchdown, and you want to go for 2 to win the game rather than 1 to tie the game. Stuff like that, you absolutely could see in a game like this.
Who do you like in this one? It's a fantastic year for Belvidere North. At the same time, they got dominated by Cary-Grove last year, 42-6. That was last year. This is this year. Belvidere North did struggle against Caneland. They were down 17-3. Cary-Grove, they have dominated in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Partner, they have over 900 rushing yards coming into tonight.
Well, and that's the thing. That plays into perfectly the football standings. In the Cary-Grove conference, right, you've got teams like Prairie Ridge, who finished first, Central, who finished second, Cary-Grove third at 7-2, right, overall. And then in the conference, I meant Jacobs, Huntley, Dundee Crown, McHenry, Hampshire, where Belvidere North plays, and they won the conference with 9-0. Guilford, Harlem, then Hanagaga, Jefferson, Belvidere, Freeport, and Boylan Catholic. And of course, then there's Rockford East. I had to flip the page to get to them because they're in last place.
Who do you like? Do you also like Cary-Grove in this one?
Actually, I mean, I feel guilty as sin because here we are, Cary-Grove on the roof. Somewhere
they were in the semifinals last year, only lost by 2 points to Geneva last year.
Well, see, but that's where I feel guilty again. We're in a gorgeous place. We're at Cary-Grove, but I got to tell you, I'm thinking Belvidere North is going to win this game.
They're going to pull off the upset?
Well, if it's an upset, I'm going to say they are going to pull it out, yeah.
It's got to be a high-scoring affair, right? I don't know if they can go toe-for-toe with this running game of Cary-Grove.
I think what I've noticed over the years also is when you think it's going to be a high-scoring game, what you find is these teams are good at the end, right? And the defenses adjust. So what's going to happen is once somebody scores first in the first quarter, the other team knows what they're going to do. So what they do is they figure it out, tell their team they do these things instead of those things. So what happens is you score early, kind of like Caleb Williams and the Bears, and then they go and hide the rest of the game. So I'm going to expect a lower scoring game. I'm going to say 21-14 in favor of Belvidere North.
Really quickly, Bob, knowing that Cary-Grove likes to run the triple option, passing the football, it's not their strength. For Belvidere North, do you want to try to get into a shootout, forcing Cary-Grove out of their element where they don't feel as comfortable running the ball because they have to go toe-for-toe, tit-for-tat for you in terms of scoring points?
Yeah, I feel to me like nothing changes because what you're trying to accomplish is give them second down and long, third down and long,
right,
fourth
so you
and
want to
long.
have either blitzing or forcing them into second or third and long situations.
Well, it's a different kind of a blitz, right? Because you have a blitz where you go rush the passer, but here, this is kind of a run
just
blitz.
Stack in the box.
What does that mean, right? Well, you got to be careful with that. No, you don't want to stack the box. You just want to make sure your gaps are covered. And then you got to keep your linebackers wide because you still have to have a linebacker to run even with the quarterback because you have to force that quarterback into the pitch. You want the pitch to go wide, but you can't let it go wide because if he turns the corner, you're in trouble.
Because you got to have your speed to the edge.
Right.
If it's one-on-one with Zavala and you have a slow guy as the last man of defense, Zavala is going to run right past you. He had 133 rushing yards last week.
Yeah, right. You're dead in that situation. So you don't really want to have that scenario where you've got 7 in the box, but you do want to be in that spot where you can you force the pitch and then turn the ball in so that they have to cut back. Now, if you do that right, now it's second and long. Now they're not likely to pass on you, so you can go one-on-one on the receivers. Obviously, you're potentially in danger of a one-on-one and some coverage breakdown. But what you're trying to do is string it out. Don't let it get around you on the edge, and then second and long, and then third and long, and then you hope they got a punt on fourth down because this is a potent offense. Even on fourth and down, fourth and long, it looks like or feels like a passing down, but it really isn't. They're still going to run potentially. Meanwhile, Belvidere North has a diversified offense and can come back at you. So if Cary-Grove has to give up the ball a few too many times on punts, Belvidere North can beat you, and that's what I'm projecting here, a 21-14 win for Belvidere North.
You said 21-14?
21-14.
I say 42-28 Cary-Grove.
The high-scoring game. We'll see if the defenses can make the necessary adjustments.
The fact that they scored 55 last week.
St. Patrick.
Right, and then over 40 points the previous week against Sycamore. By the way, that Sycamore team was led by a Hall of Fame head coach. So they played some very good teams. Zibikowski, coaching St. Patrick in his first season, played the NFL, and they absolutely dominated the Shamrocks last week.
Well, the thing about your predictions is you always have it in the basis of facts, and that's a good position to take, right? I'm still going to pull the upset here, even though I'm at Cary-Grove, and we'll see what happens.
It'd be their first ever trip to the semifinals, first time ever with 11 wins. We're going to take a break. National anthem and public address announcements coming up next here on SBS/the NFHS Network.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid's solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
My kid earned that solo!
You say mine did?
Yeah,
Come on! What's wrong with you?
And your own Cary-Grove Trojans, led by head coach Brad Seberg.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we draw your attention to midfield. And help us honor the United States of America by joining our Cary-Grove Marching Trojans. Once again, in helping us honor America with the playing of our national.
Yeah, I think they went over there. They don't need it. They're not going to be there. Yeah, I think they were just getting stuff. I can move over. Just don't step on the cord or we're in trouble. It's on something. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Cool. Do I have my phone? Oh, there it is. Excellent job by the Cary-Grove Marching Band. Belvidere North in the white and blue. Cary-Grove in the dark blue and white. They almost have very similar colors.
Yeah, they do. When I was watching them walk in, we're up on high on the roof, right, kind of a long way when they were walking in, and the team that was coming in white, Belvidere North, I'm like, wait a minute, is that really Belvidere North? They have the road white jerseys. Cary-Grove have the home blue jerseys.
You know what makes 5A so interesting is St. Francis had to beat Prairie Ridge to get to the Elite Eight, who also runs the triple option. If Cary-Grove were to win tonight and St. Francis wins tomorrow, they got to play another triple option team from the same conference. What are the odds in the same postseason that St. Francis would have to deal with that?
Well, I think there's a level of coaches feel comfortable with that offense. They're not putting the ball in the air, so can't be intercepted, can't be sacked, and you have really talented athletes and good blocking, and you can kind of roll over teams at the divisions not necessarily 7 or 8A. So I think you're going to find triple option teams more likely in divisions, whatever, 3A, 4A, 5A, like we see here.
We saw St. Ignatius with their triple option. They made it all the way to the quarterfinals, running the triple option. Then they ran into Loyola. Nobody beats Loyola except for this year.
Well, and yeah, sure, they had a triple option, but they also had a kind of a dangerous passing attack as well.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have an attack like this, you're on the ground a lot, but the defense is so susceptible, as we were talking about beforehand, too. The defense will play man-to-man on the receivers. It's not usually zone when you're playing against a triple option team. So it's man-to-man. You better make sure your safety, your cornerback stays with the receiver. And it's hard because man-to-man, if you cover on this side, they'll go for a pass on that side and vice versa. So it's hard on the defender to cover a guy one-on-one when everybody's up front stopping the run.
Number 28, Brady Albert. Number 35.
Now they just announced Albert, Bob. He had that interception last Saturday night against St. Patrick. And Jimmy had 2 of them for Cary-Grove. So they had 3 total picks on Gardner, twice by Jason Ritter Jr. That's something Belvidere North has to keep in mind tonight. Cannot turn the ball over, or it's going to be a long night for the Blue Thunder.
Well, and that's the thing. When you had said they scored 55 points against St. Patrick, those defense counts, right?
Yeah.
So getting those turnovers and giving it back to your offense, I mean, it goes without saying that you have to win the turnover battle. So if Belvidere North wants to win this game, you are absolutely right. They cannot turn it over either by fumbling or by interceptions, and certainly your special teams. You got to punt it far enough, right? And you've got to be able to cover the punt. You can't allow long returns either.
Ralston, Matt Sutherland, Dean Schluter, Adam Goliga.
It's a fun complex here at Cary-Grove. You got the beautiful trees behind the track, and it's kind of its own thing. You know how other suburban football fields, there are homes around the field? This is its own entity. It's really cool.
It is a cool place to play. I'm also intrigued, the AstroTurf or the grass, the turf. It's green. It's not like, dark green and light green every 5 yards. Kind of a little bit of a throwback kind of a stadium, but it is large. It's a good school.
Our head linesman, Steve Hanacki.
And if you're the Blue Thunder, Bob, get ahead, stay ahead. You get behind this Trojan team, the game could be over by halftime.
Well, and that's the thing. It works for every sport. You're at the final 8, right? When you are there, all the teams are good. And you are absolutely right. You want to get the lead and hold the lead. If you get behind, you have to do things unnaturally to try to catch up, and that's when more mistakes end up happening.
Being in obvious passing situations does not help your situation.
That's right. Well, and that's what Belvidere North is going to try to do to Cary-Grove. Push them, second and long, third and long, and fourth and long, and we'll see if they can do that.
So here we go. The Trojans to kick. Belvidere North to receive. It's a little shallow of a kick. It's going to be returned at the 11-yard line as here come the Belvidere North Thunder. Absolutely demolished on the play. Antoine Williams sent to the turf, and a vicious tackle by Trey Cole.
Demolished on the play. That's the right adjective, right? But now, if you can kick it in the end zone, do that. But if you don't have a kicker that can't kick in the end zone, at least kick it in such a way so the return is only going to come out to the 23-yard line. But if you can kick it into the end zone and force the other team to go all 80 yards, that's the right strategy. But here, just a 23-yard line. But you're always giving up the potential for returning it if you kick it in play.
Number 7, Andrew Bucci starts at quarterback for the Blue Thunder.
So they're called the Blue Thunder, but they're wearing the white, and the Trojans in the blue. Are you confused? Don't worry. The game has just started. Handoff up the middle, gets past the 25, and strategy 2 for the Blue Thunder, trying to keep the ball away from Cary-Grove, because it's hard to get the ball back once Cary-Grove goes on offense, because all they're going to do is run the ball, get first downs, and then score touchdowns.
Well, I like the play call on first down. Sometimes it's kind of fun to see them go back and throw a bomb, right? That loosens up the defense for later in the game, right? Here they ran it up the middle, and I think they're trying to make sure that the defense stays honest, run up the middle, punch it up the middle a couple, 2 or 3 times, keep the 7 in the box routine, and then pass or go run wide around that.
Up the middle, as it was a handoff to Bucci.
That's where it's going to be a long day for Belvidere North if they can't get any yardage on the ground. Now it's third, and they need a chunk, 3rd and 5.
Third and a very long 4. Third and a short 5.
Yeah, the dial-it-down, which isn't lit. I like it when it's lit. It's right about in the middle. I mean, give or take a foot or two, right? But whatever, third and they need a chunk yard. Now, this is a big play, right, already. The first set of downs, a big play for Belvidere North. If they get a first down, they got it, right? But if they don't get a first down, it's way too early in the game and way too on their own side of the field to consider anything other than a punt, unless they get a generous first down.
If it's 4th and 2 or better, maybe you consider it.
No, I wouldn't do that either.
They got 2+, a little short. You got to know, though, nobody has stopped Cary-Grove on defense yet. If you punt the ball back to him, that's the conservative route. You just got to know, do you feel confident in your defense to get a stop?
Well, one thing about Belvidere North's offense there, they did the same kind of run up the middle, run a little bit to the left with the quarterback, run a little bit to the right with the quarterback, and he got tripped up both times, and that's not going to move the chains. Although, it seems like it was a very, very favorable spot. They're only 1.5 yards away, but they are still punting, and that's a wise move.
Definitely too early in the game to do a fake, one would think.
Right. It's kind of
Brandon Moore back deep to receive for the Trojans.
Back at his own 40.
Great punt. That's another reason why they might want to punt.
Hang time was there. It will be returned. Pass midfield. Blockers in front. One man to beat, and he's forced out inside the 20-yard line. Cary-Grove. Doesn't matter if it's offense, defense, or special teams. They are rolling thus far in the postseason.
And that's what we were talking about earlier, too. The special teams count. So if you get long punt returns or turnovers, anything like that, the game, like you said, could be over very, very early. What a great punt return. Is it possible that in high school you actually outkicked your coverage? And that's looked like what happened. What a great, almost like a professional-type punt. But it was, easily brought back. You want to say outkick the coverage. All right, so by kicking off, right, Cary-Grove gets the ball around, the 20-yard line?
So if they had gone for it, Cary-Grove would have, quote-unquote, lost 11 yards of field position.
That's right. So the right answer on that 4th and 1.5 yards was to go for it.
It's always easy to say in hindsight, right? Playing the role of armchair GM, armchair head coach. One in motion. Barrett hands it off. You always got to wait with him because he is so good at that fake handoff. Waits, and then he runs with it.
Well, exactly right. And held it out high for the handoff, kind of like showing the defense, here's the ball. We want to show it to you before they fake and run around.
Barrett had a 72-yard touchdown against the Shamrocks last week. Second play of the drive after that interception off Gardner. 7-0, and they never looked back.
Well, and that may happen here. I mean, they had the ball. So, first time they were possessing the ball is at the 20-yard line, and not their own 20-yard line.
Right at the red zone to start the game. Not too shabby if you're a Cary-Grove fan.
That's the special teams.
2nd and 9 at the 19. One in motion. Handoff up the middle. This time, good stop by the Blue Thunder. You're in field goal range here, partner, but I think unless you lose yardage if you're the Cary-Grove Trojans, I think you're looking to get a touchdown and put the pressure on the Blue Thunder.
Absolutely. To me, this is 4-down territory, even though you're early in the first quarter, right? But you know what I really like about Barrett? The handoffs up the middle. So far, they haven't really gained a whole lot of yards, 2 or 3 yards on the first 2 downs. But it's going to be fake up the middle. He's going to run wide. But he's running out the play. So the defense can't really tell. Is he really holding on the ball, or is he going to take it out wide? It's really good ball control. I think that's going to be a fake and then run left.
Got to avoid a false start here if you're the Trojans. One in motion. Barrett still has it. He's going to be stopped short. Decision time for the Trojans. He got inside the 15, but they got to get to the 10 to keep the drive moving.
Well, we talked about that, too. We didn't think that they would kick a field goal at this point in time. Coming back to the bench here to get the next play call.
3 on the play.
Looks like they're going to keep the offense out there, and it is, about 4th and 4? So you got to be careful, right, for a play-action pass, but this is where you want to string it out wide. I doubt it's going to be a run up the middle. So it's going to be, the question is which wide. So far they haven't had luck to the left. Maybe they'll go right this time.
Got to get a very short 4 yards for the first. Barrett, pitch play. He's going to get it and more. Inside the 5. Powering his way inside the 5 by Lance Moore.
gain of 11 on the play. Makes it 1st and goal to go, Cary-Grove.
Like you said, it's very tough to stop them. Right, but okay, what were the play calls? Run up the middle, run up the middle. Make sure the defense stays honest. Then, the quarterback keeper to the left in that case. And then finally, when they needed the first down, this is the first time they pitched it wide and got it. I think this will go right up the middle again. Oh, procedure on somebody.
It could be on Zavala.
That's why sacks are so valuable, just like procedure penalties, right? It oftentimes will stall a drive. Now, this one's not likely to be as stallable because it was 1st and 4, but now it's going to be 1st and 10. If they can get them into 4th and 4 again, they know what they called last time, and maybe they can get the turnover here at the goal line without fumbling the ball.
Is there such thing as giving your defense some confidence by putting points on the board? Does your defense have an added form of confidence when you're up 3-0 versus going forward inside the 10-yard line and not getting that touchdown?
Well, if you're presuming they're going to kick a field goal, that's an absolute win for the defense if this goes, 3 points, not 7. That looks like the ball's loose.
Yeah, Barrett fumbled it.
Now, if you do some
They
back
picked it up. They didn't call it dead. Could be a touchdown for Belvidere North. No one's going to catch him. Touchdown, Blue Thunder. Touchdown, Jackson. Touchdown, Jackson Johnson.
He was escorted in the end zone by Antoine Williams and Nathan Alexander. Both flashed their speed, got in between the runner and the defenders chasing. What an amazing change of events here.
Now, a lot of things were happening, partner. For people that are watching that aren't familiar with the IHSA rules, once the quarterback is on the turf and has possession of the ball, he's automatically down. He can't come back up like in college and the NFL. So what, did he have the ball under control when he hit the turf?
Well, clearly the referees don't think so. The ball got loose before he got on the ground. It was obvious there was a scrum happening. Everybody was on the ground going for the football. But now the key is when you pick up the football, you have to pick up the football in such a way that your knee isn't also on the ground when you pick it up. That's what they did. They scooped the ball up. Johnson scooped the ball up without touching the ground, was able to run it back. And then the key were the 2 blockers that escorted him home. So often blockers, what they do is they just run with the runner, and then the runner gets tackled from behind. Not these guys, right? So Williams and Alexander, they made sure that they back blocked and just escorted them into the end zone. Great play, great pickup, and very smart to pick the football up without putting your knee on the ground.
So we'll stick with the action. It's 7-0 in favor of the Blue Thunder. If you're Cary-Grove, don't panic, obviously. Honestly, I think that Barrett had the ball and was down, but the officials disagree. They have a better angle than we do.
Yeah,
the other thing is, too,
seats up here,
was he juggling it? Even if he's down, if he's juggling it, he doesn't have possession of the ball yet.
Yeah, we didn't actually, or at least I didn't actually see when the fumble occurred. I just knew that there was a lot of people real excited.
He fumbled it at first. Now, did he get the ball back and was down? That's one of those weird rules of the IHSA, too, because in college you're not down yet until somebody touches you.
Well, you got to look at, right. If this were to be replayed, we'd probably see the football getting booted around, pushed around. Nobody really got any kind of possession on it. But that's why coaches say, especially in this case, on the
tackle him until the whistle's blown.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. But they also, especially in this offensive case, fall on the football. Don't try to pick it up again.
So here we go. Kickoff. It's going to be return inside the 10. Past the 20 this time. It's not going to be a long return for the Trojans.
A special teams change of scenery there, right? Last time they had the ball at the 20-something. Now they've got the ball at their own 25.
Trojans will take over 1st and 10 at that spot.
So a little of adversity now for Cary-Grove. See how they deal with it. The thing about it is it was a bad break. It wasn't really a mistake they made, just kind of a bad break that didn't go their way.
Yeah, that's well put. Now, if you thought they were going to win, what did you predict? 48-24?
I said 42-28.
Yeah, 42-28. Now you're looking at a 42-35 game. If you're going, it was just a touchdown that went run back. You're down one score. You just start over and you keep moving the chains.
And if you're Cary-Grove, obviously don't panic on defense. The Blue Thunder haven't done anything offensively early on, and it's going to be a timeout called by the Blue Thunder. So we'll take a timeout as well. You're watching the Blue Thunder against the Trojans here on the NFHS Network. We didn't go to...
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Interesting decision there by the Blue Thunder to call timeout. They have the lead. One would think they had enough time after that touchdown to readjust on defense, but something the coaching staff didn't like on defense, so we'll see how that impacts them at the end of the first half.
Right, I've always been a proponent of calling timeouts if your defense is confused or offense is confused, because what you can't do is give up a long gainer, and the timeout's never worth that, right? But the defense they had last time, it did not look symmetric. So it could be that the coaches looked and said, oops, we got the wrong player in the wrong spot here. Looks like the receiver's out wide this time.
One in motion, Barrett the handoff. And he gets to the 30, but he took a shot, as was a nice hit that time by Eric Roman. Roman had a 45-yard touchdown run last weekend against Caneland.
Still, it was a good gain, 2nd and 5, first down 5 yards. So if you can keep it on the ground and continue to get, by running game standards, chunk yards, 5 yards every time. I don't even know if there are rubber pellets on this field. It looks like you can get 5 yards, and it's not a cloud of dust, but I don't see rubber pellets flying up either. I bet you this field is very, very hard when you land. Anyway, 2nd and 5.
Handoff up the middle, and nowhere to go for the tailback in Logan Abrams. He had 71 yards rushing last week against the Shamrocks.
And again, I'm very intrigued how well coached Cary-Grove is. It's a up the middle with the fullback, right? And then 3 guys are going wide to the right. And Belvidere North is going to have to account for all 3 of those. Otherwise, it could be a 67-yard touchdown run around the edge. Right side is the wide side.
Barrett still has it, goes into contact. He gets the first down, but the Blue Thunder were not completely confused like the Shamrocks were last week. He gets the first down, but he doesn't get a big chunk play like he got last weekend against the Shamrocks.
Yeah, you can't say they were fooled. I mean, they were holding on to him, grabbing him. There's 13 players on the field holding him by the jersey, and he still goes forward for 6 or 8 yards. That's just pure strength, and, you get through the gaps on the defense, it's really hard to bring him down. That's what makes it so tough, because then when they fake that play, there's a lot of defenders up the middle stopping it, and you can go ride with those 3 people we were talking about.
The triple option, it's fun to watch. Abrams tries to go east and west with it, going nowhere fast, finishing the tackle, Ben Butcher. And the Blue Thunder, they came ready to play, so eventually one would think Cary-Grove is eventually going to have to pass.
Well, I don't know if they have to pass necessarily, but this is what Belvidere North wants them on 2nd and long, and then that takes away the runs up the middle a little bit, but now they got to make sure they can stop them wide. Now, so far, Cary-Grove has gone wide once, and it was very, very successful. And you get the feeling that whether they get the ball 80 yards away or 30 yards away from the touchdown, one of those wide runs can go all the way.
They're trying to confuse the Blue Thunder, and the Blue Thunder having nothing of it. That time was Lance Moore in the backfield with movement. Moore again with movement. Pitch play, and he gets to the edge. Tenapur, but an excellent tackle delivered by JoJo Pena, who's also the kicker on this team. And the Blue Thunder rolling on defense right now.
They strung it out like they needed to. It looked at first like the wide run to the wide side of the field. In this case, the left side was going to get some mileage here. The defense stood up the block, right, took away the wide run, had to cut back, and a really good tackle. That was Noah Rooney on the tackle, I think it was, 11.
3rd and 8, Pena on the tackle. This time, Barrett will look to pass. Downfield with it. Was there contact? There was. I don't think it's going to be pass interference. I think it's going to be illegal touching. But at the same time, it's an automatic first down for Cary-Grove.
I can just tell you it was not a flag I would throw. Yes, there might have been a little bit of incidental contact running downfield. The ball was thrown way over his head, absolutely uncatchable, unless they're going to call this offensive for pushing up the defender. But let's see what the referees call. I just would have swallowed that flag.
I think the argument is if he hadn't grabbed the jersey, he had a free avenue on the fly route for the touchdown reception.
If he grabbed the jersey, it's the correct call. I didn't see a jersey grab.
The call was pass interference against the Blue Thunder.
But what's the worst that could happen? You give up a first down instead of giving up a touchdown.
Yeah, you're taught as a defender, if you think that guy's going to catch the ball behind you, you tackle him now, get the 15 yards, and start over. That was very fortunate for Cary-Grove.
Teneper in motion. Handoff up the middle, and this penetration is great right now for the Blue Thunder. What is Belvidere North doing right now?
Well, right now, Belvidere North is covering the middle of the field very, very, very well. But I like what Cary-Grove is doing also. They're going up the middle, forcing Belvidere North to stop the middle. You know that Cary-Grove is going to go wide one of these times, and there's going to be nobody there. And this would be a good time for it, right? You're at the 40-yard line, well, 41-yard line. The wide side of the field is to the right. On that play, they reversed back to the left, so they're going to keep Belvidere North at home on defense. But you really got to be worried about a sweep to the right here.
Pitch play to the right. Teneper still on his feet. The freshman phenom gives his team a first down.
So that pass interference first down made a big difference. They moved the flags again. And again, Cary-Grove absolutely is on the move. So it's going to be interesting to see how Belvidere North bends but doesn't break, or the score is going to end up tied.
Overtime would be fun. Ball at the 10-yard line. Each team possesses it. I've only done one game in overtime in high school football, but it's a lot of fun.
Oh, they are fun, yeah. But anybody can win those. First down here, huh?
Yeah, ball at the 25. They were in enemy territory last time, got inside the 10, but couldn't finish the job. Pitch play to the right as Moore is absolutely smoked.
Number 23,
pushed out of bounds, as it was an excellent tackle by Cooper Zarowski.
Then Booker looked to be in on the stop. Gain of 3 on the play.
Booker on the assist.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Second and 7, Parter. They looked pretty good on their last passing play. Do you consider another pass here?
Well, they got very fortunate on it. Obviously, it worked. The man was covered. So I think, never mind the pass interference, you're saying that would have been incomplete. You would not have gotten the play
I
gain.
think, though, if he hadn't grabbed him on the jersey, he probably would have made the catch. That's my opinion anyways.
But you said earlier he was tackled. He was hammered. That's the right adjective for that tackle.
Pitch play to the left. They got a lot of athleticism with their tackles, but Pena was there, as well as Johnson. Johnson with the lone touchdown thus far. And even if Cary-Grove scores, the Blue Thunder are making them work for it.
Well, this is one of those spots where this is where you have to stop them, right? So it's 3rd and 7. You know you're in 4-down territory. Cary-Grove is going to go for it on 4th down. I don't think they'll kick a field goal. So the question is, from Cary-Grove's perspective, what play call are they going to dial up where they don't have to go very far on 4th down? So again, I feel like in this case, watch for the pitch to the right, run to the right, sweep to the right, anything to the right. That's the wide side field, and you can sprint to the sideline before you turn the ball upfield.
3rd 7 at the 22, under a minute to go. And Cary-Grove and Coach Seaberg are going to call a timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. It's 7-0 in favor of the Blue Thunder here on the NFHS Network.
At Quick Trip, we're known for our fresh and delicious food and our dedication to providing the best customer service. Did you know it takes more than 34,000 dedicated, hard-working people bringing their best every day to make that happen? Quick Trip wants to thank all our co-workers for their tireless hard work and dedication to making a difference in someone's life. Hey, join us in saying thank you to the family of co-workers known for their love of community and treating everyone like family.
.44 seconds to go in the first quarter. Look, I picked Cary-Grove, but let's give more credit to this Belvidere North team. They're 10-0 for a reason.
You said it. They are 10-0 for a reason, right? And they are doing a good job, at least at slowing Cary-Grove down. So let's look at it this way. The first quarter is almost done, right? Only the one touchdown, and they scored it. So right now, so far, they're pitching a shutout. Now, is it going to end like that? You know, but we don't think so. But here, this is a very, very big play. 3rd and kind of a lot to go for a first down, but I do think they're going to run right and utilize that wide side of the field.
3rd and 7. 2 in the backfield. Zavala in motion, pitch play to the right, instant penetration, nowhere to go.
Number 35, Leo
4th
Zavala,
down. It's a long kick for your field goal kicker. I don't think a field goal is an option. I think you got to consider passing if you're the Trojans.
That's not a bad choice, right? But at 4th and something like this, when you haven't practiced passing as much as you practice running, I think another running play is going to happen, and I don't think it'll be up the middle. I think it'll be to the left, and then he may have to cut back up into the middle to gain the yardage. But you do got to get 6 or 7 yards. So if you cut upfield, you got to make sure that you can get 6 or 7 yards on that cut. So I think we'll see a pitch to the left. Of course, it's going to be at our other end because it's the end of the first quarter. Don't you feel like this quarter just flew?
Yeah. That's what happens when you have the triple option. No passes, no incompletions, no stop clocks.
Yeah.
Second quarter coming up next. It's 7-0 Blue Thunder.
1 second from half court.
Jumping for joy.
First ever.
A 2-on-1. Oh,
Did he bring it in? He did.
It is
caught!
As you saw from our score banner, 7-0, surprisingly. Belvidere North on top of Cary-Grove. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsway. It's 4th and 6. They did try to pass earlier. They were called for holding of the jersey, was Belvidere North. You need 6 yards if you're a Trojan fan. I think you put it into the arm of your sophomore quarterback, and hopefully he can throw it for 6 yards.
Yeah, I think I'd put it into the feet of a running back and run to the left, and perhaps on a cutback. But let's see what they do. Big play here.
2 running backs on either side of Abrams. Barrett, pitch play to the left, no chance. Pena, tackle for loss, a big loss. And these pitch plays are not working right now for the Trojans.
Noah Rooney, again, was all over that, this time on the right side of his defense. Well, I guess he was on the right side of the defense last time, so you got to be careful if you're Cary-Grove running to the left. Rooney's just owning that side of the field. Now, this is a turnover. So Belvidere North has the ball. Now 70-some-odd yards away. We're going to see what kind of offense they can generate here as opposed to, whatever it was, an 80-yard fumble pick, a fumble picked up for a touchdown. Now, if you can keep it for the better part of a quarter here, if Cary-Grove gets the ball back, there may not be enough time for a running team to score. Here's a pass.
Passing play for the Blue Thunder, right on target. One man to beat, not gonna be caught. Touchdown reception, Nathan Alexander. 13-0 in favor of the undefeated Blue Thunder.
Alexander flashed the speed on that fumble return. Remember we talked about him getting in the way of the blockers? And here on a fly pattern to the right, easy 5-yard separation between him and the defender. The pass is perfectly thrown. Perfect catch.
Nathan Alexander,
so now a 2-score lead for Belvidere North. What a great play.
So, partner, they only had 7 rushing yards as that kick is straight through the uprights. Good by Pena. They only had 7 rushing yards going into that play. Doesn't matter. Defense has scored and a huge passing touchdown. 14-0 as we go to break here on the NFHS Network.
There have always been a few, ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
14-0. Belvidere North, a 71-yard touchdown connection between Bucci and Alexander. And just like that, it's up to Barrett and this Cary-Grove offense to respond.
Yeah, I feel like this Belvidere North team, the coaching staff should hear this next comment. They're playing chess out there. Yeah, on that fumble, they swiped the other team's rook, and then on this play, they swiped the bishop or something, and they're ahead by a knight and a bishop early in the game. What a fantastic turn of events. The turnover and then the 71 touchdown bomb.
Led by head coach Jeff Beck. looking to go to their first ever semifinals.
Another great tackle. So the ball is just over the 20, so it's as if they kicked it into the end zone. A little danger of a run back, but it was well covered. So now Cary-Grove down by 2 touchdowns, but again, don't panic. And the other thing is, I was talking about Belvidere North holding the ball for the better part of the second quarter so that Cary-Grove wouldn't have time to score. Nope, they just decided to go downfield in one play.
One call has seemingly changed the complexion of this game. They said he wasn't down, or he didn't have possession of the ball. Fumble recovery for a touchdown, a scoop and score. And it's been all Belvidere North since.
Well, you're making it sound like it was one call, a bad call by the referee.
Right,
we don't know that.
It was a judgment call. Yeah.
Well, but we don't know that. It's probably a solid fumble, and it's what should have happened on the play.
Barrett could not get out of trouble as a tackle for loss, that time delivered by Alexander. Alexander doing everything, a touchdown and now a TFL.
Yeah, he's a speedy guy and obviously key to the Belvidere North team. But what they're doing on that, Cary-Grove can run up the middle, and they are getting 3-4 yards at a time, but they have to keep doing that if they're going to move the flags. But really, Cary-Grove is setting the defense up by running up the middle so they can run wide, and Belvidere North has been doing a great job, especially Rooney on the right, stopping the wide runs.
Well, this was a Cary-Grove team. They can be beaten. They were twice in the year. Up the middle. That's the one problem with the triple option. When you're down 14 points, it takes a lot of plays to score.
Well, yes, it does. However, some of those wide runs, oh my gosh, you can break one pretty easily.
Right,
and that's what Belvidere North right now is hoping doesn't happen. They want Cary-Grove to continue to pound the ball where they only get like 3 yards. But one of those wide runs, if it's a broken tackle,
you got to stay disciplined. That's why defending the triple option is so tough. At the same time, it looks like Belvidere North, at least for now, has the speed to get to the edge to stop potential chunk plays.
Totally. Looks like there's only 2 down. Oh, there's a third down lineman.
Yeah. 3rd and 8. This time, pitch play to the left. Belvidere North, the speed is amazing. That time, Eric Roman sends him out of bounds.
Exactly right. They understood and watched a lot of film from this Cary-Grove team. Now, I'm not saying that Cary-Grove air the ball out here, but right now, running up the middle hasn't been successful. The quarterback keeper hasn't been successful, and trying to run on either side hasn't been successful. So here they are punting. Now I would watch out for a fake punt, even though they're in their own end. Down by 2, teams get desperate. You're talking about state championship series here. They got 2 kick returners back. I think I'd put 1 back. Got to cover the receivers. Don't rush too hard. Make sure that you keep the play in front of you and go ahead and get the kick.
And for goodness sake, don't run into that punter. Barrett, he will punt. Rugby-style punt, it's a beautiful one. Where will they spot? It's going to be near the 40. And they're going to stay right at the 40. Great field position once again for the Blue Thunder. Partner, they're playing on the road, but the Blue Thunder brought a lot of fans today to support their team.
Yeah, they sure did. But, you look down, and we're above the roof, right? And you look down on the home side. Boy, I think the whole town of either Cary or Fox River Grove are here.
Right. Well, because that passing play was so wide open, if you're Cary-Grove, maybe you consider a zone look on this play so you don't get beat back on that.
A good call, of course, your Belvidere North throw under it. Instead, they're going to go up the middle and gain 1,000,000 yards.
Gets to the nice job on the late handoff. I thought it was a fake by the QB, but Andrew Bucci did hand it off at the last second.
Yeah, 9 yards right up the middle. Now, if that play stays good, now that's what happens when you throw a bomb on the last play that they played defense on. The defense has to respect that, right? So by running up the middle, they got this 9 yards. Now, another play that should be open after going deep like that would be a shorter pass. On the other hand, if the deep pass was opened like by 5 yards last time, go right back to it, but maybe not right away.
They've been to the quarterfinals 5 times since they opened the school in 2007. That is remarkable. Late handoff, first down and more. Gets to the edge, breaks off a tackle. Green in front, and looked a little bit limpy as he got out of bounds. On the carry was Ben Butcher, but it looks like he's okay. He's just going back to the sideline.
Yeah, he just went out of bounds figuring, hey, this is easy. We'll get another game like this soon. But, that certainly wasn't the Walter Payton move where he goes and attacks the defender and then keeps going, right? He went out of bounds, and he decided to live another day for another game.
Yeah, if he had kept running, he might have gotten 5-10 more yards.
It looked like he could have got a bunch. He was rolling downhill, and he's a big guy, so I don't know. But he did go out of bounds.
Just don't fumble the football if you're the Blue Thunder. Maintain these possessions as much as you can. Has a nice run off the left side.
You have to say they are absolutely taking it to Cary-Grove.
Brought down by
Antoine Thirst on the carry.
Brings up 2nd and 4 for the Blue Thunder.
Yeah, it was a good off-tackle run for about, 6 yards? Now, I like these huddles, right, where some of the people are in it and some aren't. Here we go.
Do you think eventually at the IHSA we're going to have headsets for the quarterbacks?
Yeah, I think everything ultimately in the pros will come down to college and then high school. It'll be a while because there's a lot of electronics and costs involved, and you have to keep it fair for both teams, and some schools can't afford it. But
right,
yes, I think so.
Yeah, CPS schools, that's the worry. Pitch play out to the right. That time read well by Cary-Grove. It was a tackle by Elias Berthelsen. And third down coming up for the Belvidere North Blue Thunder. It's less than 5 yards, partner. If you don't get the first, do you consider going for it?
To me, you're 4-down territory. We're playing video game football here. Now, that was kind of a taste of your own medicine. Fake up the middle, pitch to the right, and run wide. Only gained 2 yards, so if anybody knows how to stop it, it would be Cary-Grove.
Ball at the 30, got to get to the 27.
Now, they've been successful running up the gut. And I'm looking at the defense, 3 down linemen and 5 linebackers around them. Now, maybe 4 linebackers and a safety.
One in motion. Quarterback still has it. One man to beat. Gets to the 5-yard line. Bucci. Everybody's contributing right now for the Blue Thunder.
Gain of 24 on the play makes it 1st and goal to go for the Blue Thunder.
Yeah, what a great move going right up the gut on that, holding on to the ball. It was a good tackle, but, man, down to the 5-yard line, looked like it was going to be a score.
If you're a Canelan fan and you're watching, what could have been? They were up 17-3 on the Blue Thunder, up 25-24, but their onside kick only went 2 yards. Belvidere North, ball on the opponent's 42. Handoff up the middle, this time going nowhere fast. It was a handoff to Xavion McElroy.
And the reason it did go nowhere fast is he went north and south, right, but ran into a defender, and then the defender pushed him to the edge. And you know, when you go up the middle like that, you don't gain any yards going across the line of scrimmage. You have to go, quick opener right up the middle. So it's 2nd and, longish, 8. I would like to see them keep it on the ground, but I wouldn't be surprised to be a play action pass. And of course, that's going out on a limb, right?
Like I said, don't turn the ball over. The field goal definitely helps you because you're still up 3 possessions.
Yeah, I hope they're not thinking field goal.
Pressure comes. That's a bad sack because it might have put him out of field goal range. Excellent penetration, though, immediately delivered by the Trojans, as the sack was delivered by Trey Cole.
That was a huge sack. So now you're talking about, 16 yards? So unless you throw this into the end zone, I think the way that you do that is roll out left or right. The short field is to the right. Makes it tough to roll out to the left if you're a right-hander, right? Throw it into the end zone once into one of the corners, and if that doesn't work, then kick your field goal. But that sack, a good quarterback, you got to release that ball before you get sacked. You can't take this loss.
It was somewhat of a friendly spot, though. I thought he might have been tackled at the 19 or 20. They're going to say the 17. That ball's on the turf, and the Blue Thunder somehow get it back. It's going to be recovered by Eric Roman, and decision time for the Blue Thunder. It's not a chip shot at the high school level. The ball spotted at the 22, so Bob, it's a 39-yard attempt.
They're spotting it. You had it right at the 40-yard line. So they're putting the ball 8 yards back. The reason you put the ball 8 yards back instead of 7 is because you hope that there's a little bit of elevation on the ball and can't be blocked at the line. And then you hope that, obviously it's going to go over the goalpost by more than 1 yard. This is not an easy kick, 40-yarder.
Pena to kick. Not a great snap. The hold was there. The kick. And it is good. Big-time clutch kick by Pena. We're going to take a break. It is 17-0 Blue Thunder here on the NFHS Network.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
How about that kick, partner? 40 yards as it was spotted closer to the 22.5-yard line. Big time kick. They're up 3 possessions, and that's huge considering that Cary-Grove is not known to pass the football.
That was a huge play, but for a different reason too. They had the ball first and goal at the 5-yard line and were rolling. You know, it looked like
Correct.
It's going to be 21-0 soon, right? But then their offense went backwards, which gives Cary-Grove a lot of confidence for the next time Belvidere North gets the ball, right? So then making the 40-yard field goal is just kind of like, you know, we talked about it earlier. Oh boy, any defense is going to take a field goal when you have the ball 1st and 5.
Right. I think for Belvidere North's defense, that helps, though, knowing they're still up 3 scores.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to be returned. Look at the hits delivered by Belvidere North. That time it's Alexander. He is all over the field tonight. Thus far, our SBS player of the game early on here at Cary-Grove High School.
He probably is, but here again at the 20-yard line, the field position hasn't been good for Cary-Grove. They haven't given him short fields except for that one possession at the very beginning, and that turned out to be nothing. But here, like Tony Romo says, right, those extra points never come back and haunt you later, right? Well, here they left 4 points on the field, I feel like. They were 1st and 5. They should have scored a touchdown, didn't, got a field goal. It's now 17-0 instead of 21-0. But now that Cary-Grove has confidence on defense, it might be tougher going now for Belvidere North to score more. And if Cary-Grove, with that confidence on that stop, only giving up 3 points, they could roll on offense. So let's see now.
One in motion. Handoff up the middle, nothing doing.
Logan Abrams, the ball carrier.
Remember, you got to score 3 times. And the other thing is, too, you got to score 3 times. And if it's going to take you an eternity to do that, you can't give up any more points if you're Cary-Grove's defense.
Well, yeah, that's a strong word, can't give up any more. But, yeah, I mean, the game is getting shorter and shorter. And, of course, with all this running offenses, the second quarter is almost done. Now, Cary-Grove, they're, 4.5 minutes away, but they're also, nearly 80 yards away.
Right.
So with this offense, can they go 80 yards in, 4.5 minutes? They probably can, but they got to break one wide. And of course, Belvidere North is doing a good job at stringing those runs out.
Right. And can they run the hurry-up offense with their triple option? Barrett still has it. He's not able to get to the 30. That is where the first down marker is. And for Belvidere North, they like this. The clock keeps running. They're not giving up first downs. And they're just forcing Cary-Grove to keep running more plays. And the game started on a fumble. The more plays that Cary-Grove has to run, remember, these kids are 16, 17, 18 years old. They're not adults yet. They're not in the NFL yet. They can make mistakes the more snaps you make them run.
Well, you have a point. They're not in the NFL yet, and that's where the mistakes happen. They are young.
3rd and 2, 1 in motion. Handoff up the middle. It's going to be a first down. Now, if you're Coach Seberg, when do you consider calling your second timeout? You don't want to get it under a minute and you're not at midfield yet.
Yeah, I think you wait until it's under 2 minutes on the clock, but boy, we're getting there fast, right? So they got the first down. The clock is running at 3.5 minutes to go. So that first down, and it was only about 15 yards gained, right, since that last time they had first down, and that took a whole minute. So if it gets to another first down, another whole minute.
Lance Moore trying to do a hard count. They're trying to get the Blue Thunder to draw offside. They are not fooled by this triple option one bit. Gave St. Patrick fits last week, not so much for the Blue Thunder. Up the middle.
Abrams, the ball carrier.
They are so disciplined, partner. How are they able to stay so disciplined against this triple option?
Yeah, that's strong coaching and probably a lot of video in the video room too. They look at these plays. Okay, this is going to be your responsibility. That's going to be your responsibility. That was a great tackle right up the middle. I missed the number, but the running back leaped over the defender and then got stood up. Not much of a gain, 3 yards. So 2nd and 7, and the clock continuing to tick 2.5 minutes ago, and they haven't made the first down yet. Belvidere North can do is don't give up something big.
Up the middle, that's Abrams.
Number 40, Logan
and
Abrams,
he needs to get to the 44 to keep the drive moving. He's just short. Clock is not Cary-Grove's friend right now. They do have 2 timeouts left, but a lot of time going off that clock.
Barrett got absolutely steamrolled after he handed the ball off. So somebody's got to explain to me one time when you sneeze on a quarterback after a pass, you get a penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct. And then you deck the quarterback after he hands off the ball, but that's okay.
Because he's technically a ball carrier until he's not. It's one of those weird rules of football, right?
Less than 2. Let's see if they call that timeout soon.
A lot of clock went off that Jumbotron. 3rd and 1. Handoff up the middle. Abrams, he broke one. Nice tackle from behind by Pena. He's been all over the field. And I don't see the signal yet by Seaberg. He's going to let his offense continue to be out there.
Yeah, Rooney made a nice, kind of a game-saving tackle from behind. Dive at the legs, stop the legs. That was a nice broken tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Handoff up the middle. Now, Bob, you're down 17. Did Seaberg call a timeout?
Number 30, Dylan Crawford.
Not yet. You're down 17. Does the field goal help you here before halftime?
Absolutely, because then you're down by 2 scores. But, you know, they're still not in field goal range yet. And there's not a lot of time yet, and they got their 2 timeouts left, I guess.
Pitch play. Good decision by Barrett. Moore. Was he forced out? No, he was not. Still in bounds. They got to call a timeout.
Now,
Seaberg not happy, but Bob, I think that was the right call.
Yeah, I would have called him out of bounds. I would have stopped the clock. I would have given them the first down. But what they are doing is they're marking it right at the 35-yard line, and they are going to give them the first down. So it'll be 1st and 10, 35, 56 seconds to go, and 1 timeout left. So can you score 35 yards in 56 seconds on the ground? I wouldn't be surprised to see a play-action pass downfield, but so far the one pass that was thrown wasn't anywhere near the receiver, but they got bailed out by the penalty call.
All right, you're down to 1 timeout left. The ball spotted at the 35. So what, you want to get 1 more first down, then you call your last timeout, and then you got to go back to passing?
Well, I don't think they're going to pass. I think they're going to continue to run, and what has been running is quick runs up the middle. They're not huddling, right? So they're going to continue to run up the middle, I think, and then they're just going to hope to, break one. And they have broken a couple up the middle, but I think in the second half they're going to have to find another way to move the football. The up the middle has worked mildly. Nothing wide has worked in either direction. Now they could try a reverse, but they tried a misdirection once, and that didn't go anywhere either. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments Cary-Grove is going to make down by 17 at half. Of course, they're not necessarily down by 17 at half.
Now, do you want to save the timeout till you get to the red zone? So if you get a first down, do you have to spike it really quickly to save that timeout?
I think it doesn't matter. You got to call it somewhere and make sure you don't take it to the locker room with you.
Going to be a screen pass, terrible pass. Partner, even if it was completed, though, it was well read by Belvidere North, and it looked like Cooper Zarowski was going to get out there quickly to make the tackle.
Was that Runiga, number 11? If that's who it was, I mean, I think I would start scheming for him. Find a way that wherever he's lining up, call an audible and go the other way. What a terrific defender.
Yeah. 11,
but that was a bounce.
11 is, yeah, Barrett is 11 and Zarowski is 10. Yeah, Bob, see 10 on your screen. 2nd and 10 at the 35. Only good thing about that play is it stopped the clock.
Yeah, right. There's a bounce pass to the receiver. Yeah, I mean, almost to the point where, I mean, it was forward, but how close was it to not being forward?
This time they go with a reverse. Nothing is working right now. Will Seaberg call a timeout? He will. That's our last timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. It's 17-0 Belvidere North.
Timeout.
All right, partner, there's no timeouts left. Remember, first down stops the clock briefly, giving you time to either spike the ball or run a play. If they don't get the first, it's 3rd and 7 at the 32. If you don't get the first down, do you run a hurricane drill for a field goal, or do you do a Hail Mary to try to steal 7 points away from the opposition?
Well, it starts with this. Are you going to run or pass? You're 7 yards away, and if you don't make that first down, you're kicking the field goal from here. I think whatever you do, you have to run up to the ball, and hopefully you've been trained to spike it. Maybe you get one pass into the end zone before you got to run, like you said, the hurricane drill for the field goal, but let's see what they do.
They're going to run it.
That's not going to get
up
the
the
first
middle.
down.
Abrams got nothing. They got to go quickly. 41 seconds. Can't spike it because it's 4th down.
They could stop the drive right here.
It's 4th down for the Trojans.
One in motion. Fumble on the turf.
There was a fumble on the play.
They had the numbers to try to get it out to the edge if he hadn't fumbled the snap. Kind of the story of the first half for Cary-Grove, and decision time for Belvidere North. You got a couple of timeouts. Clock stops briefly on a first down. I know you want to be conservative here. You're up 17 points, but don't you want to go for the knockout blow here to put more points on the board and put more pressure on Cary-Grove?
I sure would. I would go deep twice or 3 times, call timeouts, whatever you got to do.
I understand why they're doing this, but I'm with you, Bob. With 2 timeouts in my back pocket and clock stops briefly on a first anyways, I would have gone for it.
I would have. The defender wasn't within 5 yards of them last time they bombed it downfield. I absolutely would have run that. The only thing you're concerned about is a sack.
Or a turnover.
Yeah, the earlier sack fumble,
Right.
that kind of thing. Pick 6, not if you're going deep, right? But they were sacked earlier. Remember when they were at the 5-yard lane, went backwards a couple of times? That probably was in their minds. They're like, let's just take the 17-0 lead to halftime. But, man, I would have been tempted to go up 24.
Right, you never know. Every point matters. I remember that Lions-Packers game. The Lions thought they had the Packers on the ropes, and then the Motown Miracle, the Hail Mary from Rodgers to Richard Rodgers, and the Packers beat the Lions. We're taking a 5-minute break. Then we're going to give you some halftime analysis and some stats. Stats powered by Stat Crew. I'm Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsaway. It's 17-0 Belvidere North here on the NFHS Network.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid's solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
My kid earned that solo!
You say my kid?
Yeah,
Come on! What's wrong with you?
At Quick Trip, we're known for our fresh and delicious food and our dedication to providing the best customer service. Did you know it takes more than 34,000 dedicated, hard-working people bringing their best every day to make that happen? Quick Trip wants to thank all our co-workers for their tireless hard work and dedication to making a difference in someone's life. Hey, join us in saying thank you to the family of co-workers known for their love of community and treating everyone like family.
Stop what you're doing. If your SBS broadcast looks blurry on your laptop or desktop, do the following steps. Number 1, click on the wheel icon at the bottom right of your screen. Then click on Quality. Click on the highest quality that's available for you. And number 3, wait for your laptop to load and enjoy the broadcast. If your broadcast looks blurry on your phone or tablet, do the following steps. Number 1, click on the wheel icon located at the top right of your screen. Number 2, click on Advanced. And number 3, click on the highest quality available. If you're still having issues, type in the live chat. Thanks, and enjoy the game.
Now this is some bull.
And another 3 for the ball! Oh, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm's here to help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorites.
My kid heard that solo!
You see my kid?
Kyle Smith alongside Bob Vilsaway. 17-0. 2 big chunk plays that have hurt Cary-Grove. An 85-yard fumble recovery by Johnson, and then 71-yard touchdown reception by Alexander, and that's it. Pena with the 40-yard field goal, and the Cary-Grove offense, they're struggling, partner. 2 fumbles. Jackson Barrett, he's only a sophomore, and starting to show why he's an underclassman coming into tonight.
Well, Belvidere North, just to say how well they've done on defense, and that's the difference in the game. Those two big plays, but their speed on defense. Cary-Grove, listen to these offensive numbers. They scored 34 points, 10 once. 36, 34, 40, 46, 56, 40, 44, 42, and 55 last week. This offense is absolutely potent, right? So Belvidere North has just done an outstanding job shutting them down. So the question now becomes, right, what adjustments do both teams make?
They got to consider passing. I know you talked about it, Bob. If you don't practice passing, perfect practice equals perfect. Vince Lombardi said it best. At the same time, I don't know if you have enough time on the clock to score 17 points and stop Belvidere North from scoring any more.
Well, Belvidere North, normally if you're ahead 17-0, the message is you don't need to change anything. You got to keep doing what you've been doing over and over, right? But I think Belvidere North has to have a different adjustment in mind. They have to be really ready for any kind of adjustment Cary-Grove might make, like, for example, passing. So they can't just be content with, let's keep doing what we're doing. They have to be ready to adjust quickly, because if Cary-Grove does adjust and Belvidere North isn't ready for it, Cary-Grove continues to smash the ball down their face or something like that. Belvidere North could be in trouble. But now Cary-Grove, let's talk about them. What adjustments are they going to make? To your point, you want to see them pass more. Well, so far Barrett hasn't shown the ability to connect on the pass. So I'm thinking in the back of my head, what's my backup quarterback look like? Or can Barrett throw passes? So far it was that one air ball that was not going to be completed anyway on the pass interference.
There was a tug at the jersey, so they called the flag.
Yeah, you're sticking to that story, aren't you? The tug into the jersey.
But that screen pass was not good.
That was a one bouncer to the receiver. That was horrible. So you're like, can Barrett complete these passes, or do they just have to find a way to get outside more often? They banged the ball up the middle and had mild success there, but they're down 17. They got to find a way to go wide and keep it away from Rooney.
If you're Belvidere North, yeah, you have 17 points, but only 10 of that is from offense. 7 was a weird play that Jackson Barrett usually never does, fumbles the football in the red zone. Okay, so you've scored 10 points on offense to Cary-Grove 0. Even though you're up 17 points, is it we're going to do everything we can to win today, special plays, trick plays, everything out of the playbook to try to advance to the semifinals? Yeah, we give another team free game film for the semis, but we can't get to the semis unless we beat this really good Cary-Grove team tonight.
Yeah, no tricks. I mean, it's, hard-headed football. Continue to hold the ball for as long as you can, move the chains, because Cary-Grove uses up their own clock. So Cary-Grove is going to use up, half a quarter to score a touchdown. You can use up the other half of a quarter. You're done with the third quarter, and maybe you're up 10 now. You do the same thing in the fourth quarter. I mean, it's going to be very difficult for Cary-Grove to come back with this running offense.
Trojans are down 17, 2 touchdowns, 2 PATs, and a field goal. Do they have enough confidence in their kicking game, or are they actually thinking 3 touchdowns and not give up a single point on defense?
Well, that's what they're thinking. They're thinking 3 scores, 3 touchdowns, and their defense is going to have to find a way to continue to stop, Belvidere North. To your point, Belvidere North has really only scored 10 legitimate points, right? Besides that defensive return on the fumble, right? So they have to assume that Belvidere North, you're not going to score anymore, and we're going to get 3 touchdowns and win 21-17. I mean, that's their thought process. But to execute that with the ground game that Cary-Grove has, down 17 points. I mean, if they were down 10 points, they're thinking, well, score once in the third quarter, score once in the fourth quarter, we got this. But down 3 scores with this kind of offense, it's going to use up a lot of time. And the thing is, Belvidere North has a good triple option of their own that they can get a few first downs with.
Nathan Alexander has been their big-time player tonight. That 71-yard touchdown catch, a big tackle for loss later in the first half. Do you get the ball to him out in space, just screen passes, jet sweeps, get it to your playmaker out in space, see what he can do?
Well, yes, obviously you do. Speed kills, right? And it looks like Belvidere North, especially Alexander, has that speed. I was so impressed that he got in between the defender and the runner on that fumble return, right? He's a speedy guy. So, yeah, if you can get the ball in space to him, nobody's going to stop him. I mean, he'll just continue to move the chains right up through the end zone.
So you said 21-14 Belvidere North, looking like a good prediction thus far. Do you think Barrett is going to learn from those mistakes? He also had a fumbled snap on that 4th down late in the first half. He's only an underclassman. He's only a sophomore. Does Seaberg have enough confidence in his sophomore quarterback, or does he consider a quarterback change? That's not for the rest of the playoffs. that's just for tonight to win tonight. Then you go back to Barron in the semis.
Well, again, it depends on what you practice. That's why I was saying earlier, it doesn't appear he can complete a pass, right? So do you have a backup quarterback that
Does he
has
have enough reps in practice, too, to feel
exactly
confident?
right. And then you have to start thinking, gosh, if these passes are going to be this errant next year, do I want to continue to commit to this triple option? Probably will. Usually the offenses stay the same from year to year, and Barrett runs it very well. But he's going to have to go, play somewhere, sometime between now and next year and get arm accuracy up. Now, he's only a sophomore. Give him a break, right?
It's only a 2-pass sample size, so.
That's exactly right. I always say that to you. It's a data point of like once or twice, right?
So it could be better.
Oh, yeah.
Final thoughts, partner. 4 tackles for loss for Belvidere North. They were excellent. But 3 for Cary-Grove. So the defense has really not been the problem. Just some chunk plays have hurt the Trojans. So if they can eliminate those, they can still win. Do you think Cary-Grove is going to score 21 or more unanswered points in the second half, or is it going to be Belvidere North to maintain their undefeated record?
Well, I don't see how they score 21 points, not with the defense that Belvidere North has flashed. They've stopped everything. The middle may be a little bit soft, but nobody can go wide. Not the quarterback, not the pitch wide. They're just shutting everything down. So the question is going to be, what can Cary-Grove change to change that? Special teams, a pass,
Try to get a turnover.
Yeah, perhaps that. Yeah, we said that, when we first started talking. Belvidere North, they've got to hold the ball, no turnovers, no trick plays, nothing stupid. Don't give up anything easy.
We'll take a quick break. Second half coming up next here on the NFHS Network. Yeah, always do the mic first.
Hey, conductor, how about something new? You played this last year.
Come on, get your head out of your sacks.
Shh, we're trying to hear.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing your kid play the wrong notes. Where's my kid solo?
At least you can see your kid. Why is my kid stuck way in the back?
The conductor only plays his favorite.
My kid earned that solo!
You say my kid?
Yeah,
Come on! What's wrong with you?
Here we go, partner. Second half about to start. We're 2 minutes away from kickoff. Cary-Grove does get the ball back. You can't score 21 points on one possession. Now, you got to get 21 points. Try to give up a field goal or less on defense. If you're Jackson Barrett, do you try to score quickly?
Yeah, I don't know that quickly is the word to use. I think they just have to score. They got to move the chains one at a time and score. They've got a really potent wide running attack also on those long pitches, and I would do that. I would do a lot of pitch left, pitch right, try to get the outside game to work. The inside game was good enough. They got to get the outside game to work. You want to tire the defense out for Belvidere North, and they've got some speed on that team. Get one first down, then get a second first down. Get it in the end zone however long it takes. Now it's a 2-score game.
There is no tomorrow if you lose tonight. Is everything on the table, including having 10 appear, having Abrams take the snap to try to get it to your playmaker quicker so they can get to the outside or up the middle to try to get more chunk plays quicker to score quicker?
Yeah, what a great question, but unfortunately we don't see them practice every day, so we don't know what kind of alternative universe they have in their offense, right? So I think what we've seen in the first half is what we're going to see generally in the second half, and I don't think there's going to, even though Cary-Grove is down 17, I just don't see that there's going to be very many adjustments. Passing has been inaccurate at its best. I think the adjustment is going to be where the runs terminate, and I think they're going to terminate them by the sidelines, not in the middle. I think that's the adjustment you'll see.
Well, here we go. Season's on the line for Cary-Grove. And I know it's 24 minutes to go, but it goes by very fast in the triple option. So when I say time's running out, it really is, because the clock doesn't stop on the triple option. There are no incomplete passes.
Right, and if you're a passing offense, see, every time you go and pass the ball, first off, you get first downs. The clock stops then. You don't necessarily need to huddle. You run up to the ball, get snapped, very little time goes off. Of course, if it's incomplete, very little time goes off. So even if the other team scores, you can score quickly on the time clock. But here, when you have an offense that's completely on the ground, the clock runs the entire time. If neither team has flags thrown on them, the clock continues to run. The only time it's going to stop is shortly on a first down and on a pass.
By the way, the text line's open. Your favorite high school, college, or NFL memory, text 330-957-7653. All FCC regulations do apply. 17-0 Blue Thunder. Nathan Alexander thus far with the game-winning offensive touchdown. And Johnson, that's Jackson Johnson, has the overall game-winning touchdown on that scoop and score, 85 yards.
Now, Pena hasn't kicked it into the end zone, so I would expect a return here. So that's going to be what Cary-Grove focuses on to start.
Pena, good kick, inside the 5, has to return it. As it'll be returned past the 25. Alexander again, he is all over the field. Offense, defense, now special teams.
What a great tackle. Grabbed him, turned him around, fell on top of him, punished him a little bit. It's an excellent tackle, but it was a good return. That ball was kicked almost to the end zone by Pena. It was kind of a low-line drive, so there wasn't a lot of coverage he was going to get. The ball did come back to the 30-yard line. It's a good return. So 70 yards away, 24 minutes away, and down 17. That's the challenge.
Yeah, less than 24 now, 11:53 on the clock. Long way to go, 70 yards on running plays alone. Gonna have to pass a couple times, one would think. Flea flickers, everything's on the table. Abrams, nothing doing. A slew of defenders were there to greet him, and it certainly wasn't a friendly greeting.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And number 32, Rylan Zarowski. No gain on the play.
So Zarowski on the tackle. Second and 10, here we go. You're in obvious passing situations, but they don't pass, so you got to find a way to get 10 yards.
That's where I think they got to run wide. They just have to. It's going to have to work. And of course, Belvidere North has been stringing those out. And this is what Belvidere North wants, a second and long. And if they can get it to third and long and then, obviously then fourth, they're going to get the ball back at the punt.
Barrett, he'll hand it off. This time positive yardage for Abrams.
Logan Abrams, the ball carrier.
Tackled that time by Dylan Crawford, but not before he gets close to the first down. What do you think here, quarterback keeper with Barrett?
I think as long as the middle is soft like this, they're going to keep going up the middle. And the reason that the middle is soft like this is because Belvidere North is focused on ensuring they're not going to get around the edge and make long gainers.
Right. If they're going to score a touchdown, it's going to have to take them 5 minutes or more to do so.
Right, and then they have their own offense that can hold the ball for a while. But they're not looking to eat the clock up. They're looking to score again when they get the ball back.
Abrams, short gain, but has a lot of power in his running style, and he gets some yards after carry. Gets close to the 45. They'll spot it right at the 45.
I like how the run goes up the middle, right? And then Belvidere North is collapsing on the run, right? But Barron's has been running the play out to the outside. I'm thinking Barron's turn completely around, keep the ball, delay a second and a half, and then sprint out and see what happens.
At the 45, 55 yards to go. 3 in the backfield. Tackle for loss. Well read by the Blue Thunder, Noah Rooney.
Jackson Barrett on the keeper. Noah Rooney on the stop.
This is a complete team effort tonight by Belvidere North.
Well, it is a team effort, but Rooney is standing out. I mean, when it's time to pass out the 3 stars, in my mind, he has to absolutely be one of them. This guy is a terrific football player. I'm wondering, he easily should go play at the next level.
Noah Rooney is only 5'8". He's shorter than me, but he's certainly faster than me. Second and 13. Here we go again, partner. They're behind the sticks. 3 in the backfield again. Abrams, short gain. They're getting low on him and getting him right at the point of attack.
Yeah, he's just not going far enough. Now you got 3rd and 10. So they either have to air this out, right? Or again, they just got to go wide with it. And of course, that's when Belvidere North has been at their best. Thing is, 10 yards to go. If you gain 5 or less, you know, we talk about this all the time, 5 or less, is it 4-down territory, or do they got to punt it away? In my mind, I think they have to have enough confidence in their offense, even though it's been sputtering today, to be able to punt and gain the yardage. But down 17 points, you know, the ball at midfield, it's going to be pretty tempting not to go for it.
3rd and 10, long way to go. Got to get to the opponent's 45-yard line. This might be the drive of their season. 1 in motion. Up the middle. Abrams. See where they spotted? At best, he's at the 49.
Yeah, I'm saying since they went for it on that play and ran up the gut, I think they knew that it was a 4-down territory situation. They're going to go for it again. And if that's their bread and butter play, if you're 3rd and 10 and that's what you're going to go to on 3rd and 10, you're going to go to that again on 4th and 4. But I do remember 4th and about 4 at the other end, they went wide with a pitch to the left, but that was to Noah's side. So, I mean, Rooney's side.
4th and 4.
This is a big play call, but you didn't need us to tell you that, right?
Both the Belvidere North sideline and Cary-Grove sideline is absolutely ecstatic right now. 3 in the backfield. Barrett still has it. He'll get the first down. He is absolutely smashed, though, as he gets past the first down marker. Even when Cary-Grove gets a first down, Belvidere North is making them pay for it.
Yeah, they sure did. Hammered is the word that, again, comes to mind. But he got the first down. He'll take it, and that's what this is. You know, if you're going to run a triple option, you're going to run. You are going to get hammered on certain plays. So first down, that was a big play. So first of many big plays that Cary-Grove is going to have to make to get back in this game. And you said it. This drive is very, very meaningful this season.
What a beautiful night for football. Mid-50s. It's all Blue Thunder thus far. 1 in motion. Nothing doing for Abrams. Actually, Barrett with a late fake handoff took it himself. That's why this triple option is so hard to defend. Unless you're the Blue Thunder, then it's easy to defend.
Well, they're doing a good job at seeing where the ball goes, right? My eyes gravitated up the middle, right? And then Barrett kept it and went outside, and then he got, tackled pretty hard there for no gain. So 2nd down and 10, but their bread and butter has been up the middle of this game so far. I do think that they're going to have to find a way to go wide.
Carter, they're wasting a lot of clock. They might have to consider an onside kick if it takes them another 5 minutes to score. Up the middle, Abrams. First down, and Cary-Grove desperately needed that.
This is why they keep pounding the middle like that. They're expecting him to break a couple, 2 or 3 of those. If he can go take it to the house, right, then it's a 2-score game, and there absolutely is enough time. But even though we're saying there's enough time, it's still half of the 3rd quarter. They haven't scored yet. So if they do score this quarter, we're going to be not a whole lot of time left in this quarter, and then it's going to be up to see how long it takes for Belvidere North to hold on to the ball before they have to give it up to Cary-Grove again. So clock is not the friend when you're down 3 scores in the middle of the 3rd quarter.
Over 400 yards rushing for Cary-Grove last week. Not a lot tonight. Abrams again. If they were down by 14 points or less, I'd be okay with those play calls. They're down 17. You got to get it to Savala or Tampier and try to get a touchdown on the edge.
Yeah, I'd like to see him go wide for certain, but obviously they've been going up the middle and it has been relatively successful. It's just that it kind of reminds me death by 1,000 cuts. Every time they run up the middle, another 30 seconds goes off the clock, and they gain some yardage, 5, 6, or whatever yards, but they haven't punched it in yet.
And the clock is definitely advantage Blue Thunder. 2nd and 7 at the 25, 1 in motion. Barrett, a couple yards, and then brought down.
I like that run, though. He's very patient behind the blocking, stayed behind the blockers, and then fell down forward. But we got, 3rd and 5? I thought it was going to be a little less than that. But
3rd and 7.
3rd and 6.
3rd and a very short 7.
Yeah, I must have had a very bad view on that. They gained 1 yard on that. It looked like about 4 or 5 yards.
They changed it to 6. It was originally 7 on the Jumbotron, so 3rd and a very long 6.
So, again, I think they'll keep it on the ground twice. I'd like to see it go wide, but again, they made the first down last time with 3rd and 10 by going up the gut. See if they do that more.
Under 5 minutes to go now. 1 in motion. Handoff up the middle. And couple of defenders were there to greet him, as it was a combo tackle by Crawford and Zarowski.
Sometimes it's fun to watch the game within the game, right? So the handoff was made, and Rooney tackled Barrett from behind. Oh, I guess you didn't have the ball. Sorry about that. But talk about a punishing tackle.
Now you wonder if those hits are starting to get to Barrett.
Well, they're certainly not getting to Abrams. He's doing a terrific job.
Down and 2 for the Trojans.
If
Fourth and 2.
If this game gets turned around, it's going to be because of Abrams running up the middle. That's where they're going to go here.
Up the middle, it's going to be close.
They're going to give it to him because it's high school football, but they may have indeed stopped them. But, you know, they're going to give him the gain. So first down.
It's a gain of 3 on the play.
So they gave him a full 3. I thought it was 2 or 2.5.
Yeah, it was. Well, you know, he does a good job falling forward after contact, so he earned it. First down. More clock, but first down, still down 3 scores. But this is what Cary-Grove needed to do. Even if it takes a long time to score, they have to make sure they score. They can't panic, do something they're not accustomed to doing, run some plays that you know, you don't know if they're going to work. And they certainly can't go backwards. They need to keep the chunk yard going and the first downs moving.
Uh-oh, is Barrett hurt?
No, he's just coming back to the coach. Got the right play.
So much clock going off that Jumbotron. First and 10 at the 17. Hand off to Abrams. He has such a nose for that first down marker.
Yeah, I liked what he did, though. It looked like the middle was clogged up, so he just took a little step to the right. Effectively went off tackle as opposed to off guard, but nice gain. He's a good runner. Follows his blocking very, very well. Tough to bring down, falls forward. You know who he reminds me of, and of course I'm dating myself here, is Larry Zonka right up the middle.
2nd and 5 at the 12.
So now that they can say the announcer's comparing him to Larry Zonka.
Short yardage again. Abrams again on the carry.
Brought down by Calero.
Here we go again. Third down. Carter, the only team to possess the ball this quarter has been Cary-Grove.
Right, and look how much time it's used, 10 whole minutes, right? So it takes way too long to score. Clock still ticking on that exchange. I don't know. I think Cary-Grove is used to scoring and on larger chunks of yardage.
Right. I don't think they're used to this.
Yeah. Belvidere North just doing a terrific job on D.
3rd and 4 at the 11. Cannot afford a false start. Taking so much time to get the ball snapped.
I didn't know the play clock was that long. Second
Short
effort,
gain.
pushed back.
And at that point, if you're Abrams, one would think just go down so that we can get the snap off quicker. By not going down, that wasted another 5 seconds, and the official's got to get the ball. He's got to respot it, and just look how much clock is going off that Jumbotron.
Well, I felt like they used like 30, 35 seconds on the last play call, and they're using a lot of time here. But here, it's worth it. It's 4th down. This is, again, another like game on the line type play. Now, if you're Belvidere North, I feel like on defense, you can gamble a little bit. If you stop them, you get the ball back, right? If you don't stop them, it doesn't matter if you get a first down or a touchdown. Looks like they're wide receivers.
4th and 3. Pitch play to Savala. He's going to get it and more.
This is coming
Flag
back.
on the play.
That was not the time for some flags to come out. Holding, that's going to stop the drive. That is a game-changing penalty call by the referee.
Only quote-unquote good thing about that is if you have confidence in your kicker, it's now 4th and 13. It's almost impossible to do on a running play, so you think you would have to do the field goal. You're down 17 anyways. Now you get the field goal, quote-unquote, out of the way, so to speak.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Coach Kyle on the call there had it right.
Still, you're down 14.
But that's better than down 3 scores. And you're too far to run it in. That was a shame because they had that first down. A lefty kicker.
Haven't seen him kick a lot today, only on that opening kickoff. Here's the kick.
Oh no, a doink.
Off the uprights, no good. Everything is coming up. Belvidere North's way tonight. We'll take a break. 17-0 Blue Thunder here on the NFHS Network. First and 10 at the 20. A heartbreaker for Cary-Grove on that missed field goal. Running play up the middle to the quarterback as it was Bucci.
So that'll finish out the third quarter. 11.5-minute drive and no points to show for it. Now, he kicked the upright. He hit the upright.
You can't blame the coach on that. You got to execute the plays, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but using up the whole quarter to finally get downfield to where you can kick the field goal and you hit the upright in the state, championship series. Wow.
We'll take a break. Cary-Grove is 12 minutes away from elimination. Belvidere North, the undefeated season is still very much alive. We'll be back after this.
At Quick Trip, we're known for our fresh and delicious food and our dedication to providing the best customer service. Did you know it takes more than 34,000 dedicated, hard-working people bringing their best every day to make that happen? Quick Trip wants to thank all our co-workers for their tireless hard work and dedication to making a difference in someone's life. Hey, join us in saying thank you to the family of co-workers known for their love of community and treating everyone like family.
It's about fourth quarter about to start. It was an 11.5-minute drive. They got no points out of it. When you run the triple option, Coach Seberg and this excellent coaching staff for Cary-Grove, they have to think about things like, well, we don't run a 2-minute offense anyways, so preserving timeouts for the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, I don't know if that's advantageous for us.
Oh, agreed. And I think they're going to have to put the ball up in the air, Barrett notwithstanding. They're going to have to find a way to get one-on-ones on the outside, down the middle, anything. Use the running game to their advantage for a play action. But here, Belvidere North is just going to try to use up as much clock as they can, go downfield and score again. They have to do certain things, so they have to stay in bounds like there. That was a run up the middle. So that was a pretty good game. They got to move the chains a couple, 2 or 3 or 5 times, continue to use clock. And they've got to take some solace in the fact that Cary-Grove cannot score quickly.
So if you're Belvidere North, is the clock more valuable than the first down? What I mean by that is if you're close to getting a first down but you're close to out of bounds, do you give yourself up to run more clock and force Cary-Grove to call a timeout?
Nah, first downs are everything. You get that first down because then the clock will run on the next series.
Right, correct.
Fumble.
He fumbled it. Cary-Grove has new life.
There was a fumble on the play. Recovered.
Just when you think you've seen everything, that happens. And Jackson Barrett and Cary-Grove is still very much alive.
If this game goes the other way, remember that play. That will be the turning point of the game. Belvidere North could continue to move the ball downfield, use up all the clock. Now it's a short field for Cary-Grove. They can get the ball in, 30-yard line quickly. I mean, it changes the whole complexion of the game. Turnovers, they matter.
Short field, too.
Yeah, 30 yards away.
Man, that missed field goal was huge because now you'd only need 14 points.
Oh, man, right. Yeah, you'd punch this in, you're down 1 score, but you're still, at this point, you're down 3 scores still.
If you're Belvidere North, just don't give up chunk plays. Make them earn it like they've done all night. This time Barrett will pass. High throw, complete, down the sideline. Tenapir with the first reception of the night for the Trojans.
Finally a completion, perfectly thrown ball, had some air under it, receiver ran under it. I got to tell you though, I was holding my breath while the ball was in the air thinking what defensive back can come and swipe that out of the air. Now they'll probably keep it on the ground, punch it in, and this is the plan.
Hand off to Abrams, excellent tackle.
Logan Abrams, the ball carrier.
That was all strength on that tackle, by the way, as it was delivered by Crawford. He went high on Abrams, but he's definitely been lifting in the weight room.
Well, and Abrams is tall, so he had to look up and tackle him up there, right? I think it's probably smarter to get the legs, but it was an excellent tackle, drove him to the ground, made him pay a little bit.
Here we go again, clock runs.
Yeah, clock running. I think they'll keep it on the ground still, but yeah, if they need a third or a fourth down to do it.
Second and goal at the 9. Handoff up the middle. This pursuit from Belvidere North is excellent. If one guy can't make the tackle, the pursuit is there from behind to tackle Abrams from behind.
Yeah, it's a well-coached defensive team doing a great job with their vision to see who actually gets the ball, because there's some good ball handling skills back here on Cary-Grove, right? If they run up the gut, I think the quarterback could turn around, though, and hide and then spin out late. Here's
They're
another
going to pass. Barrett in the pocket. He'll run with it. Touchdown, Barrett. Touchdown, 11. Touchdown, Cary-Grove, 17-6.
That was a good play call, and again, they changed something. It was a passing play, but really it was effectively a quarterback draw. They got the score they needed. They're down 2 scores. I think it's too early to think onside kick, but Belvidere North, man, that fumble really hurt them. Now they have to go back and say, oh my gosh, whatever you do, do not fumble that ball again.
The football gods giveth, and they taketh away.
Well,
they
turnovers.
giveth Blue Thunder an 85-yard scoop and score, then they taketh away on the QB keeper from Bucci.
Well, and that evens out the score on those 2-1 scores,
correct.
right?
Here's the kick. It's straight through the uprights. We'll take a break. 17-7 Blue Thunder here on the NFHS Network.
There have always been a few ready to fight and win. Since 1775, these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
$17-7. Well, if you're Andrew Bucci, you just got to forget that happened on the fumble. Just the 10-minute offense. Get first downs, maybe get another field goal or touchdown, and put away Cary-Grove.
Well, or eat 3, 4, 5 minutes of that clock and then give it away. That you are still ahead by 2 scores. Now, what you're trying to prevent here is if they do get the ball back and score, now you got to make sure you get that subsequent onside kick, right? Because you can't have Cary-Grove scoring 3 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. But yeah, hold on to the ball, don't fumble it.
And you don't have to run the ball. You can pass, just know an incompletion stops the clock.
Right, right.
So short passes are your friend because high percentage passes.
Or throw another 80-yarder.
Going to be returned at the 24-yard line. And he does get past the 35 as it was a pooch kick to 56 and A.J. Tauscher.
Yeah, interesting. While he was returning the ball, my mind works fast while he's running it back, and I'm thinking, don't even worry about getting a couple, 2 or 3 extra yards. You just don't fumble.
37-yard line.
Well, partner, if you're head coach Jeff Beck, you're up 10 points. Obviously, you'd love to score again, put this game away. But you're looking to get first downs. How do you do that?
Well, right now he's got a knight and a bishop from the other team, and he just gave up a rook. How do you do that? Just hold on the ball on the ground, both arms. Same triple option there. Fake up the middle. I mean, a handoff up the middle and fake wide. So Belvidere North has a very potent triple option offense of their own, and they have a little bit more diversity with the passing part.
This is a surprising game. Like I predicted 42-28. Coming into tonight, Blue Thunder averaging 35.5 points per game. They've been held to 17, but their defense has been absolutely fantastic.
It really has been fantastic. And, you know, if it wasn't for that fumble in the short field, probably still be a shutout.
Josh Fagan, the defensive coordinator for Belvidere North. He might get a raise after this season.
Plus, they got a good punter.
Bucci up the middle, close. I think he's a half-yard short, but an excellent run by Bucci. And decision time for Coach Seberg. When does he consider to start calling timeouts?
Yeah, I think you're going to hold them till later in the game, right? But every time Belvidere North has the ball, they can use up an awful lot of the clock. And here's a perfect opportunity for Belvidere North. They're a yard away. All they got to do is punch it for a first down, and another, 30 seconds goes by. We're already down to 8.5. I mean, it's too early to start looking at the clock every first down, but they're in the driver's seat 1 yard away here.
Jeff Beck is also the offensive coordinator. 3rd and 2, not a friendly spot for the Blue Thunder. Up the middle.
McElroy, the ball carrier.
Well, they got it there.
Yep, they're going to move the chains.
Sure. So again, run and hold on to the ball with both hands.
For the Blue Thunder. Brady Elbert was in on the stop for the Trojans.
So Elbert on the stop. He had that pick last week like we previously talked about. Here we go, though, clock running. I think you wait for them to get one more timeout, then you got to use all 3 of your timeouts. I mean, get one more first down, then you use all your timeouts.
Yeah, I would use them later, but, I mean, that's one way to go. You got to score twice.
Pitch play to the right, just don't go out of bounds. Still on his feet. Excellent run. And the patience by Roman was excellent too, Bob. He didn't panic and go out of bounds. Waited for his blockers, went upfield with it, and kept that clock running.
Right, and of course, while the play is happening, again, my mind is spinning, saying, oh gosh, it's a pitch, don't fumble this, right? But I'm thinking, okay, you pitched, you went right, you got 8 yards, right? Pitch, go left to the wide side, try, like you said, not to go out of bounds, cut back somewhere, get your first down, you're only a couple yards away. Keep moving those chains, because every time you move those chains, there's another approximately 2.5 minutes off the clock.
And if you go to the right, put the ball in your right hand, keep it away from the defense. Vice versa to the left. Don't put that ball in a spot where it can get easily swatted away.
I'm shocked how many pros don't put the ball away from the defender.
2nd and 3. 1 in motion. Bucci still with it. He is tough to bring down. Gets positive yardage. 3rd and short coming up. Do you consider a play action here?
That would be fun to see, wouldn't it? I mean, and if you do a play action, let's see, what's the thought process there? If you do a play action and you don't make it, I mean, if it's complete, you might have a touchdown. But if you don't make it, it's 4th and short from right here, and you still go for it. But then if you don't make that, and the clock stops, and if you don't make that, then Cary-Grove gets the ball with a short field and 6.5 minutes to go. So I'm thinking they won't do that because they're going to use 2 downs here to get the first down. They're not going to waste it on a play action shot.
You could do a play action boot, try to get your quarterback out to the edge. If nothing's there, give yourself up for the sack. Force Cary-Grove to call a timeout.
And the punt's not the end of the world here either.
No.
I think they got it.
Handoff up the middle, he got it. McElroy got it. And decision time for Coach Seaberg. I think he's got to call a timeout, but he's not calling it as of yet.
I'd see, yeah, they've got to be able to stop him. What you're really waiting for is a first down play that doesn't get a lot of yards. Then you think they can't make the first down. Then you're using your timeouts to stop the clock. But when they're getting chunk plays 7 or 8 yards on 1st or 2nd down, you really can't use your timeouts then, because then the next time when they have a first down, you won't be able to stop the clock. Bucci, similar, handed off or faked it, or made the handoff down the middle and ran the play out wide.
Ball to 42. One of their running backs looks like a catcher right now. Look how low he is.
Using the clock.
At the 45-yard line. Pitch play to the left. Nice penetration by the Trojans.
All right, now you think about using your timeouts because that was the game that they wanted to stop. So looks like here comes the first.
Timeout, Trojans will take a timeout as well. It's 17-7 in favor of the Blue Thunder.
There's a timeout.
There have
High
always
school
been a
sports
few
fans, relive your
ready to
favorite
fight
moments. Just
and
click
win.
the shopping cart below the video
Since
player to get your digital
1775,
copy today.
these few have been Marines, and they come from across this land to defend the future of our nation. This year, our Corps celebrates 250 years, and Marines are proud to serve this country, each other, and all that is still to come for America.
What a game we've had tonight. Back and forth all night. Belvidere North has been fantastic on defense. Can Cary-Grove get a key stop, get the ball back, and then they'd have to get an onside kick to preserve their season?
Right, well, and that's what's happening right here. They got the first down stop they needed to allow them to use the timeouts to try to prevent the first down. Now, the good thing about stopping here, if Belvidere North stalls on the drive here, if they get another first down, I'm not going to say the game is over, but it's really tough to come back. But the tough thing about stopping them here, or the good thing from Belvidere North, they do have a good punter, and they can probably pin Cary-Grove pretty far back with, maybe 4 minutes to go.
For the Blue Thunder.
So that Cary-Grove would have to score 2 times starting, at their own, let's say, 10 or 20-yard line.
Ball at the 43, 1 in motion. Bucci will take it himself, and Cary-Grove was not fooled. Excellent tackle by Kaplan.
Yeah, this should be another timeout. 3rd and very, very long. Now, one would think that this is one of those big plays. Now, if they can get a first down, they use up the clock. But here, I don't see anything other than keeping the ball on the ground.
Second timeout by Cary-Grove. We'll stick with the action. So, partner, it's 3rd and 14. You could do a lot of different things if you're the Blue Thunder. Honestly, because it's 3rd and 14, your odds of converting are slim to none, right?
Well, I don't know. A fake run and a pass against a man-to-man defense.
The problem is if it's incomplete, it stops the clock.
Yeah, it would. But right now, if you run left, right, or up the middle, you're not going to get the first down either. So this is one of those games, if you can get that first down, it's almost game over. So you could end the game right here with a first down, 14-yard gain.
So you're at the 45. Now, in the NFL and college, they like to either take a delay of game or take a sack or give themselves up behind the line of scrimmage to give more room to their punter. If you're Belvidere North, do you also consider that?
I don't think he needs more room in this scenario.
Right, but do you want to try to pin him inside the 10, though, on a punt?
Well, you'd like that, but I'm telling my punter, put it over the field goal post if you can. Make sure they got it even at the 20. It doesn't, just don't let them return the ball. But the problem of punting here is you could lose the game and never see it on offense again because Cary-Grove scores, onside kick, they score again. If they make this first down on a bomb, then the game's over.
Pitch play to the right. That was a little bit dangerous.
On the pitch to number 20.
As the pitch was complete to Roman. I say it was dangerous, Bob, because he was about to be tackled when he pitched it. The first down really doesn't matter. Just ball possession matters. Take the hit. Make sure you don't fumble the ball. He was able to pitch it out to the right. What if he had fumbled it, though? Cary-Grove would have been in business.
Yeah, they could have run that in. Now they're down 3, and they would. Well, still 4:59 to go. And it's going to be hard to get the ball back because Belvidere North would have the ball again after the kickoff unless it was a successful onside kick. But here they are punting. I put the ball off the field somewhere. I do not allow any kind of return whatsoever, and then go play defense. Let's see, 4:43. Cary-Grove hasn't been successful at anything, chunk play, and certainly not through the air. So it's going to be hard to visualize that they're going to score twice.
I am absolutely shocked Coach Seberg did not call his last time out.
There's a timeout on the field.
We'll take another timeout. It's a 10-point lead for the Blue Thunder. Stop what you're doing. If your SBS broadcast looks blurry on your laptop or desktop, do the following steps. Number 1, click on the wheel icon at the bottom right of your screen. Then click on Quality. Click on the highest quality that's available for you. And number 3, wait for your laptop to load and enjoy the broadcast. If your broadcast looks blurry on your phone or tablet, do the following steps. Number 1, click on the wheel icon located at the top right of your screen. Number 2, click on Advanced. And number 3, click on the highest quality available. If you're still having issues, type in the live chat. Thanks, and enjoy the game. Well, partner, Cary-Grove has one timeout left, but 40 seconds went off that clock, and they don't have a 2-minute offense of a spread or a West Coast offense variety.
All I can tell you is I don't understand that either.
Landon Moore back deep to receive for the Trojans.
They declined the delay game for obvious reasons. They don't want to give the punter more room.
Well, they're not going to get a return on that punt. I don't think that's exactly where I wanted it to go. Possession's at the 25-yard line. Whether the ball's at the 25, the 20, the 10, I would have tried to boom it into the end zone. Just don't let anybody run it back. So 75 yards away, 4.5 to go. They have to score twice.
That missed kick. Look, I don't want to put everything on the kicking game for Cary-Grove, but you'd only be down a touchdown right now instead of 10.
Well, yeah, but that's doable. I mean, 4.5 to go and a touchdown's huge difference between that. So that doink right now is playing into this game.
You win as a team, you lose as a team. Angel Apayez is one of the reasons they got here. And he was close, Cody Parkey, close but no cigar, right?
Is he even in the NFL still?
Not anymore, but he might be kicking in the CFL.
But Pinheiro is.
Yeah.
Pinheiro is.
Got to go 75 yards if you want a touchdown. And the other thing is, too, Bob, you got to score quickly, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown.
That's correct. And right now, that was another run up the middle. It has been mildly successful this game, but 2nd and 8, you're not going to win this game if you get 2nd and 8s.
Gain of 3 on the play brings up 2nd and 7 for the Trojans.
Belvidere North absolutely has to stay behind the receivers. They can't let any receiver get behind you.
Barrett still has it.
Jackson Barrett on the keeper.
First down stops it briefly. Decision time for Barrett. They're not going to spike it. I thought they might. Spiking it would have cost them a down, but it would have saved them clock.
Well, it was a good run. It was just a good run. I mean, where was that earlier in the game, right? I think Belvidere North is preventing deeper passes, though, now.
Pitch play to the right. It's a quick pitch. Zavala still has it. Great run by Zavala as he's able to get out of bounds.
15 on the play. Makes it 1st and 10, Cary-Grove.
So, partner, if you're Belvidere North, do you want to cheat to the boundary a little bit to force them to go north and south?
Well, and that's why it surprised me on that first down that they ran up the gut, because at the end of that play, A, no first down, B, the clock running, C, you didn't gain enough yards. So this is what we were saying earlier. Cary-Grove needed to run wider earlier. I think they ran up the middle just a little bit too much. 3.5 to go. But, yeah, you have a point. If you can tackle the guy going out of bounds or push them back, that'll keep the clock running.
Fakes the pitch. Barrett with tons of time. Delivers a strike. It was off the fingertips, but I think it's more on the quarterback than the receiver on that pass.
Well, I don't know. It was right in his fingertips. I'm wondering if the ball got tipped, and that's why he didn't catch it. I mean, right in his hands. We have to play that one back and see if the ball was tipped.
The intended receiver was Medina at the same time. It wasn't exactly on target either.
Well, that's why I'm thinking it may have gotten tipped, but it wasn't caught, and that's, again, not part of their offense. They just don't pass it a lot, and they need it now.
Need it desperately. 2nd and 10, 48 yards to the end zone. Abrams right behind the quarterback. Pitch play, Zavala again. Excellent tackle by the Blue Thunder. Zavala can't get out of bounds, and that's something that Zavala has to understand. The clock is more important than the yardage right now.
Yeah, in this case, absolutely. He should absolutely have gotten out of bounds, found a way. He wasn't going to get many yards anyway. Run straight out of bounds.
3rd and 10. Got to get to the 38. Barrett to Moore. He's got a blocker in front. Moore gets to the edge and tackled from behind, but not before Moore gains a lot of yards. Tackled by Williams. The Trojans are still alive.
They are, and that was the play I wanted to see them run a lot more. I think pitch right now. You got the wide side to the right. Continue to run wide. If you got to run out of bounds, do that. But they got a first down. Clock is hurting them. Up the middle, that's not what they should be doing.
They've got one timeout left. Seaberg is not going to use it yet.
Tripped up on the play by Rylan Zarowski. Gain of 1 on the play. Makes
you don't have to get a touchdown. If you want to kick a field goal soon, you could do that. 2nd and 9 at the 33. Handoff up the middle. The problem is, though, partner, is do you have confidence you're going to get close to the end zone like you are right now?
Well, and I think you're out of the field goal kicker's range at the moment,
right.
So it's not yet an option, but it's a good call on your part. If they get to the 25 or 20-yard line or something like that, and they are within the range of the field goal kicker, take the 3 points now, because what you're talking about with 2:25 to go, you're going to, even if you get the ball on a onside kick, you're going to have to win the game on a Hail Mary.
Right, because the other thing is, too, pressure comes into play. These are human beings, right? If you can get the field goal out of the way, Apayetz might not feel the pressure as much down 17-0 versus 17-14, and his field goal is the difference between it going to overtime versus your season being over.
Well, so true. If they score here with not enough time left, he's going to have to try to kick a 75-yard field goal to tie the game.
Right.
That's not happening, right?
All right, partner, it's 3rd and 8 at the 32. It's been up and down tonight for Barrett. He hasn't been terrible. It's 4-down territory regardless. If you get the first, do you spike the ball quickly to stop the clock?
That's not a bad play call. I've always been a fan of calling a play in the huddle or in practice. All right, we're in a spike the ball situation. This is the play we're going to run, not spike the ball.
Here we go, partner. They got to get to the 24-yard line to keep the drive alive. Handoff up the middle. Abrams trying to get to the 25-yard line. Johnson was one of the tacklers near the play.
Gain of 7 on the play brings up 4th down for the Trojans.
4th and short for Cary-Grove. Abrams got it. 2:02 right now.
Well, they had to get the first down. That was key, but they're at the 20-yard line, 2:01 to go.
Got to get the play off quickly, under 2 minutes to go.
There's your spike.
That was really close, partner, because if that's not under control, that's a fumble. It's got to be under control when he spikes it.
Well, that you'd have to have a lot
of guts as a ref to say
no,
fumble.
that's right.
But it's technically the rule, right? It's got to be under control when you spike.
Yeah, that looked like it was under control enough
I thought
for me.
so, too. I'm just saying, there's some Belvidere North fans. I don't think so. Hey, hold on a second. Not so fast, my friend, as Lee Corso would say. 2nd and 10 at the 22. You need 10 points to tie, obviously. You get to the 20 or less, field goal comes into play.
Yeah, I mean, if you really believe that, they should be kicking it right now.
Zaval in motion, they pitch to him. Excellent tackle. There's one of our players of the game, Mr. Rooney.
Rooney on it again, and why not? Of course, he's played so well on the right side of the field. Now, the good thing about this from Cary-Grove's perspective is Rooney is still going to play defense, we think, on the right, and they should be running to their right.
Yeah.
Rooney, nope, Rooney is going to the strong side.
Handoff up the middle. They do have a timeout left, and they're probably going to call it.
Well, they're huddling quickly.
Brought down by Jackson Johnson.
There's
a 4th and 11.
They're going to preserve it.
This could be the game, 4th and 11.
4th and 11. Season on the line for the Trojans. Barron will pass, clean pocket, looks downfield to the end zone. Overthrew him. There are no flags on the field as of now. They are talking it over.
That's what I was looking for. Where's the pass? That ball was overthrown. I look at the sparklers on the far side of the field.
Holding on the Blue Thunder.
Whoa.
We play on.
We play on is right. Where did you see the flag?
I did not. That's why I said there are no flags on the field, but they talked it over. I didn't see a flag either. Did you?
That's a
did you see
10-yard
one?
walk-off, which results in 4th down and
Remember, it's a 10.
Oh
Trojans.
Different from college and the NFL,
Right.
okay? So it's still 4th down.
So they still have to earn the first down here. More clock will run after they get it.
They are going to kick the field goal. No surprises here.
Boy, all right.
Get it out of the way, and then the onside kick coming up.
Field goal.
Apayez missed earlier. Snap is good, as is the hold. The kick. Straight through the uprights. The Trojans have 9 lives tonight. We'll take a quick break. It's 17-10 Blue Thunder here on the NFHS Network.
High school sports fans, relive your favorite moments. Just click the shopping cart below the video player to get your digital copy today.
One of the most exciting plays in football, the onside kick.
Yes, we're going to see that, and hopefully it doesn't hit a toe and it's recovered that way.
Right.
But yeah, you're going to see an onside kick, and if it's complete, they're going to have a minute to try to score without a timeout. But they don't even have the ball yet. So if this is recovered by Belvidere North, the game is over. The thing is, it's got to go more than 10 yards, or Belvidere North can touch it and fumble it, and then Cary-Grove can get the ball that way.
No guarantee, even if Cary-Grove gets the ball back, they're going to drive down the field to score.
That's also correct. I like that Belvidere North has one guy deep.
Apayez to kick, the lefty. It's a good one. It's close. Who got it?
Rooney. Of all people, Rooney's
Belvidere North recovers. How about this, partner? Number 11, Rooney.
It figures. Put him number 1 star of the game, not even number 3.
Are you kidding me? Of all the guys to recover that ball was Rooney?
Let's make Rooney all 3 stars of the game.
The onside kick at the Trojans' 49-yard
Well, victory
line.
formation
They
coming
will
up.
take over 1st and 10 from there.
Could they fumble the snap and Cary-Grove takes it for a touchdown? Probably not. Cary-Grove
Not if Rooney is going to be the quarterback.
Bucci had a great game, too. I know he fumbled, but made up for it with some nice plays.
He's got to be one of the stars. It's by virtue of the position, right?
So, Bob, who are your 3 stars of the game brought to you by the NFHS
Well,
Network?
in some order, Rooney, Alexander, and Bucci.
Bucci.
Sorry. What did I say, Rucci?
Yeah.
Bucci. But those 3.
Can't disagree with you.
Yeah, I just don't know in what order.
That touchdown by Alexander, he also made some plays on defense and special teams. I give him the slight edge over Rooney, but that that recovery, I think it was dropped initially, and then Rooney was able to recover it.
Rooney was on defense everywhere. To me, Rooney is the #1 star. He absolutely shown. I would give Alexander the #2 choice by virtue of being the quarterback. Of course, then Bucci gets the 3rd star, but that's where I would go with this. And what a wonderfully played game, right? This is a fantastic scheme. Like I said, they were playing chess. They finally checkmated Cary-Grove, but Cary-Grove, they pulled it within 1 score and made it exciting. And you're back to that fumble changed the game. They were going to score at that end and gave up a touchdown. That exchange changed who won this game.
Dan Hampton says it best on the Hampton and Obradovic postgame show. We measured this game in yards. Sometimes it's a game of inches. If Barrett had just recovered that snap, that fumble recovery doesn't happen for a touchdown. If it's a 1/4 of an inch the other way, a Piatz's kick is good, and Cary-Grove is advancing to the semifinals. But tonight, the Blue Thunder was just marginally the better football team.
Yeah, it's amazing how 17-0 game was so close. Just those calls, like you just said, that made all the difference.
It became 17-10 at the final.
Yeah.
That does it for our play-by-play broadcast. Me or Andrew Diedrich will go downfield for our NFHS Network post-game interview. So for the rest of our excellent crew, for Zachary Stolpa, Anthony Collada, Andrew Diedrich, Stephen Taylor, and Bob Vilsway, I'm Kyle Smith, signing off. 17-10 victory for the Blue Thunder, and we'll be back on the post-game show. Welcome to the Postgame Show, brought to you by the NFHS Network. I'm Kyle Smith, along with the NFHS Network player of the game, Noah Rooney. An excellent game, 10 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, as they win 17-10 to advance to their first ever semifinals. Noah, you knew what happened last year. It was a tough loss, 42-6 to Cary-Grove. That didn't happen tonight. You're up 17-0, and you hung on 17-10 thanks to you getting the onside kick recovery.
I mean, it feels great. First time in school history. We've been here back-to-back years. We played Lake Zurich the year before. That one was another close game. Last year we didn't feel prepared. This year we felt ready.
What did you see on the game film? You created so much havoc, you and your defense, on Barrett, Logan Abrams, and the rest of that Cary-Grove triple option.
I mean, I just think we had a great game plan coming in. We knew what we were doing. We executed it, and that's all we can do. Just go out there and ball.
So, you knew that winning the game was a possibility tonight. Have you seen any game film yet on St. Francis or Chicago King?
No, we just worried about this game, one game at a time. We'll watch them tomorrow, Sunday, and then we're in the form room on Monday.
Is it the 24-hour mentality?
Yes, sir, always. Next game. Next game.
Final thoughts about the win tonight. It was also your offense, too, a 71-yard catch. Excellent catch from the quarterback to wide receiver. And really quickly, too, you're up 17-0. Bucci fumbles it, but then comes back with some excellent runs to put this game away.
I mean, we got this thing called good, and you just say good, you move on to the next play, and you wipe it clean. That's all we do. That's all we can keep doing. And, yeah.
What does the semifinal appearance mean for this program? You guys have only been around since 2007.
I mean, it means everything to us. It's about time Belvidere North's put on the map. We keep going to the quarterfinals, and no one respects us. I think it's time we earned our respect.
Well, you're 2 wins away, Noah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Noah Rooney. That does it for our post-game show. For our excellent crew, Bob Vilsaway, Stephen Taylor, Zachary Stolpa, Andrew Diedrich, Anthony Collada, I'm Kyle Smith, and we'll see you next time on Sports Broadcast Solutions.